This is an ABP network production, and you are watching the DP World PGTI Tour 2026.
The DP World PGTI Tour now moves to Visakhapatnam for the Andhra Open Golf Championship 2026 for its 7th event on the 2026 calendar. Visakhapatnam, also known as Vizag, is the largest and most populous industrial port city in Andhra Pradesh, located on the Bay of Bengal coast, surrounded by the Eastern Ghats. It is known for its scenic beaches like Rishikonda Beach, Submarine Museum, and Kailasagiri Hills. Amongst the scenic places lies the East Point Golf Club, located 15 kilometers from the city and nestled among a mixture of mango and swaying palmyra trees. The course, with green hills on two sides and an azure lake on the other, is a truly back-to-nature experience. The course features numerous sand bunkers, heavy tree coverage, and rocky terrain with plenty of marshland, all of which make for a great day of golf. The Andhra Open Golf Championship 2026 features some of the top Indian names, including PGTI Order of Merit leader Saptak Talwar, Veer Ahlawat, Honey Baisoya, Manu Gandas, O.P. Chauhan. The likes of N. Thangaraja and Jamal Hossain add to the foreign flavour in the tournament. The tournament so far has witnessed some intense golf, and it remains to be seen who will etch their name on the trophy in this city of destiny.
I am Preeti Dahiya, and we are on to the final day of the Andhra Open Golf Championship, and we are all very eager to find out if Khalin Joshi will be able to end his long wait for his 7th professional title.
Like Singapore or Malaysia, all these palm trees, hot, humid. It reminds me of the days of the Singapore Open or the Malaysian Open.
Yeah.
But yeah, the contest is fierce here at the Andhra Open at the East Point Links in Visakhapatnam. And Khalin Joshi,
yes.
He's just birdied as we speak the 9th hole to go on to 8 under par. He has a 3-shot lead. But going by how this golf course has played, fortunately there's not much wind today.
Okay.
So the conditions are a little calmer. So I think it'll be easier for him not to make too many mistakes.
Well, I can feel that. There's not much of wind today, but golfers are not bothered about this heat and humidity. I'm really surprised with that, because literally we are sweating it out here to get all the live action for all of you on this show. But Amandeep, we are talking about Khalin Joshi and the way he's maintaining that lead for now. There are other players in focus as well. So let's quickly go through the groups that we have and that we will be going across right now. Let's talk about the first group, and that's Group 7. It has the likes of Manjot Singh, Brashwarpal Singh, and Ajitesh Sandhu. What do you make of this group?
All 3 Chandigarh boys, 2 youngsters. Manjot, I think he's a teenager. Brashwarpal also, I think, just probably 20 or 21 years old, and a little bit of experience. Ajitesh Sandhu, who won the Vishwasamudra Open last year at Delhi Golf Club. So Ajitesh and Saptak Talwar, both winners on the tour, who are breathing down the neck of Khalin Joshi and Rashid Khan. So I think Ajitesh will be showing the youngsters some tricks in the trade. But he's a regular on the Asian tour. He has won on the PGTI, DP World PGTI many a times.
Right.
So I think that is a group to watch. But Ajitesh already within 3 or 4 of the lead.
Right. And you mentioned about Group 8. It has Saptak Talwar. We were just talking about him. Viraj Madappa and Arjun Sharma. These are the 3 players who are making Group 8. There's Group 9 with the likes of Yash Majmudar, Rashid Khan and Khalin Joshi. And of course, Khalin Joshi maintaining his lead for now. And now, before we go across to next question with Amandeep and talk about Khalin and the contenders, we're also going to quickly take a look at the leaderboard, how it looks right now. Let's take a look at who is leading and who is trying to play catch up when it comes to the leaderboard. I'm just going to quickly play that up for all of you and just take a look at what's happening here. What we have is Khalin Joshi right at the top. Second is Rashid Khan, then Ajitesh Sandhu and Saptak Talwar and Yash Majmudar all at joint third. We have Akshay Sharma, Manjot Singh, Brajeshwar Singh, Viraj Madappa all at joint sixth, and then there is Honey Baisoya there at number 10. So this is going incredibly well as far as Khalin is concerned. Let's talk about someone else also, Amandeep, who's witnessed another long drought. And we were talking about the case of Rashid Khan. His last title came in the year 2019. What do you have to say about him and him going down all the way to the wire today, giving that competition to Khalin?
Preeti, I'm surprised at, Rashid, that he hasn't won, and he hasn't won so long. He's a winner on the Asian Tour and not once, twice over. And, he was the biggest talent India had for a very long time. But, this is a strange game. You know what happens in this game? In a player's head, we really don't know.
Yeah.
But the whole country had a lot of hopes on Rashid Khan. We thought, he's going to go down the route from the Asian Tour to the European Tour like many others and go on to play on the PGA Tour. That is the talent that this boy has. But I hope, it takes one victory to reignite a player's career. And I hope it is this week and he can make a few birdies. There are a couple of birdie holes and even an eagle hole, a par 5, I think 11th, on this golf course where a lot of players have made eagles. So hopefully, eagle here and a bogey from Khalin Joshi, and the game will be all square.
Ooh, so both of them essentially are sailing in the same boat. Let's see which way will this day go. Both the players really, really keen on getting another professional title under their belt. But now, Amandeep, if we talk about the Andhra Open, this is a new tour, new tournament, really new venue, new championship here. But DP World PGTI is taking golf to newer territories. We can say that. And the view of the course is breathtaking. The conditions, however, are extremely tough. How do you think are our players going to handle these conditions? Are they well placed to do that?
I think, Preeti, it's a seaside golf course. Our players don't get, so much of practice playing seaside golf courses when there is a lot of wind, and the wind especially is swirling here. You're sweating, I can see that, it's very humid, but today there's not much wind. But this golf course, because there is the mountains at the back and then there's sea very close by, the wind tends to swirl and it makes tunnels, and that's what makes difficult, because when you're watching the shot, the wind could be blowing off the left and suddenly it switches over from the right.
Yes.
And that's what makes things difficult.
Right. So, it's going to be a challenge, really. It has been a challenge for all our golfers to handle these tough wind conditions and tough pin positions as well. And Amandeep has taken it upon himself to give them all sort of exposure right here in India. Is that right to say?
Absolutely. I think with Mr. Kapil Dev as president, we are trying to grow the tour. We've had some great partnerships, especially with DP World. This has elevated our tour and taken it to another level. The whole world is watching now the DP World PGTI. We've got great partnerships with Axis Bank, just recently with the Kalyani Group, with the Bharat Forge. So many more corporates are jumping in, add to the DP World PGTI, and all adding prize money to the tournaments.
Fantastic. Good news for everyone involved in this entire, circle that we are all working so hard to promote. Let's take a look at the weather conditions then. Remember today we are starting half an hour earlier than we did yesterday because the conditions have been hot and humid. So how does the weather look like today? We are going to take a look at that and also help you understand that what is it that our golfers are dealing with on the final day of this championship.
76%.
What we have is 76% humidity, which is just about 1% less than yesterday, and the current temperature that we are dealing with, Amandeep, is 30 degrees Celsius.
It feels like 45. Preeti, I promise you this is not 30 degrees. This feels like 45, so to say, going to 100. Yes, I think that the weather is going to play its toll. Players are going to stay hydrated.
Right.
We serve them with a lot of water with regards to Campa. Campa are tour partners and they provide us with lots of water. But to stay hydrated with the electrolytes, I think very important for the players. In the heat of the moment, they tend to forget that the electrolyte imbalance happens. So a lot of bananas, a lot of water, a lot of electrolytes is what my advice to the players will be.
You and I also need that same amount of electrolytes and energy to survive this heat. But let's quickly, as we wrap up this show, talk about the 2026 season. Amandeep, you have a new umbrella partner. More sponsors have come on board. We are also seeing a string of different winners all through. So how do you see the first half of the season?
Well, I think we've done great in the first half. We've had two Hotel Planner Tour events, which are the European Challenge Tour events. We've had the DP World Tour Indian Open. We've had 3 tournaments. We started off in Chhattisgarh, Then we went to Delhi with the DP World Players Championship, went to Calcutta with 1.5 crore events. So generally, I think we've had a great first half with the 3 tournaments separated by a few European Tour events and ending up with this week we are playing here. Next week we are going to Hyderabad and ending at Delhi.
Okay.
So a great first half. But the difference that we are going to have this year is our tour is going to be truncated. We are hopefully going to be ending or maybe ending in October this year, and from next year we're going to have a tour going from November through October.
Fantastic.
And ending at the DP World India Championship in October in New Delhi.
All right, Amandeep, on that very, very positive note, thank you so much for joining for the pre-show. And of course, I will save you the predictions for the last day because you've already said that it's going to be a tough competition between Khalin Joshi and Rashid Khan is what we are going to witness here. So for that and lots more action on the course, let's go back to our commentators.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the final round of the Andhra Open Golf Championship 2026. We are this week at Visakhapatnam at the East Point Golf Club. The prize purse for this week's tournament is 1 crore rupees. Khalin Joshi, who took the lead after 3 days, is staying at top of the leaderboard at 8 under par, while Rashid Khan follows at 5 under par. He too is 1 under par for the day. Ajitesh Sandhu has had a good front nine, with 2 birdies on the front nine, and he is at 3 under par, tied alongside Saptak Talwar and Yash Majmudar. It is a very interesting day here in Visakhapatnam. It is pretty hot. The wind hasn't quite started off like yesterday. It's only about 23 kilometers per hour today, while it was nearly 30 plus kilometers per hour yesterday. And Khalin Joshi there on our screens is all smiles. I am your host, Rahul Bajaj, joined alongside by my co-host Rahul Banerjee, as well as Shaurya Singh, as we take a look now on the par 3 11th hole. Ajitesh Sandhu gets ready for his tee shot. Mr. Banerjee, what does it look like to you right now here at Visakhapatnam? This is becoming a more and more interesting tournament as the day moves on.
Yeah, a very warm welcome to all our viewers, wherever you are, and hopefully it will be an interesting day of golf. Though one has to say, tee to green, Khalin Joshi has been head and shoulders above the rest of the pack. 52 players made the cut from a starting field, and the reason why he's there is that he has found good areas to hit off the tee every time almost. And on the greens, you all know, some of you played with him, both of you have, so you know how good he is with the flat stick. So put all of this together, and he's actually the only one to have 3 straight rounds under par, and the only one of the 52 who survived the cut. So with good reason, he's up at the top, and not in a mood by the looks of it to relent. He's on his hunt for his first win, I think, in about 4 years, since I think 22 when he won in Coimbatore. Oh, what a lovely shot. Great stuff. As Shaurya's, let me borrow one of his terms. These boys are throwing darts today on this par 3, and we've just seen 2 of them land right in front of us.
That was Manjot Singh on our screens, as we now take a look at Brashwar Pal, who is being caddied by his brother, Bishmat Pal Singh. And talking about head and shoulders, Rahul, it seemed like it was almost an advertisement of sorts, but I don't know if Khalin Joshi has quite been able to use head and shoulders for quite some time.
For quite some time, definitely. But that doesn't matter. I mean, he will just take the simile, I'm sure, very happily. It doesn't matter. His hirsuteness or lack of it is completely, I think, look, here's another great shot there. So all 3 of them on the floor, and very well, sitting very well for birdies on each of them.
Hole number 11 here at the East Point Golf Club is a 144-yard par 3, which makes the hole very much approachable by all of these players for a birdie chance. As we take a look now at Dhruv Shoran, Dhruv, who led the tournament on day 1, coming into the 12th hole over here. He's currently at a score of 1 under par for the tournament, coming off birdies on both hole number 10 as well as 11th. Another terrific shot here by Dhruv Shoran, setting himself up for yet another opportunity on the par 5. 12th hole here plays as a 527-yard par 5. All over this golf course, playing as a par 71, spanning over 6,871 yards. with some really, really long par fours, and of course the windy conditions. And there we have a good picturesque golf course there, a superb look from the drone. The course has got the hills, the mountains on two sides, and the lake on one side. And there we have that leaderboard with Khalin Joshi right at the top.
Interesting. I beg your pardon. The wind has not picked up as much yesterday, but as we heard Preeti Dayar point out in the pre-telecast show, that because it's that one reason for that could be because you started to play Javier at the course half an hour earlier, and if it does pick up, it is going to be very interesting. The thing is that Khalin already has a very handsome cushion, as you can see on your screens. It's currently at 3 shots. Rashid Khan is his closest pursuer on 5 under par after 9 completed holes, as is the third member of the lead group, Yash Majmudar, who's a further stroke behind. So now, even if conditions do change in the second half of the morning or early into the afternoon, Rahul, it's the margin between Khalin and all of those behind is already fairly comfortable, and with just 9 holes to go, I think he just needs to play sensible golf. He doesn't need to get too defensive, or need to get too, what's the word they use in cricket, too cute, So if he just plays steady golf, which he's been doing with great success for the first 54 holes and the 9 today. So that's all he really needs to do, and the onus is entirely up to those who are chasing. And we've seen that this course can punish you if you go, if you try a little too hard and you go offline here and there. It's really hard to recover.
Absolutely, we did have this discussion even before the day's proceedings started, and yes, he does have a handsome lead. But at this point, if you look, Mr. Banerjee, into the back nine, there are 3 par 5s that the players will be getting, and it's just a matter of an eagle there that can completely change the thing. So 3-shot lead at this point in time with the back nine with 3 par 5s coming up. And there we had Manjot Singh making yet another birdie on the course, and now Manjot himself moves up to 3 under par for the tournament. So lots of players will gather that pace, the 11th hole being the approachable par 3. And you've also got those 3 par 5s. Along with that, you have the 15th, which is a 378-yard par 4, and the 17th, a 376-yard par 4. So if someone is to get on a tear on the back nine, anything is quite possible at this stage. In fact, I think this back nine will be a lot about grit, determination, as well as the person who can stay hydrated.
Good point there, Rahul. But just to go back to yesterday, there were only 2 eagles on the back nine, and they belong respectively to Khalin Joshi and Rashid Khan. Nobody else got anything, made more out of it of the back nine yesterday. So, like I said, I agree with everything you said, but it is, like I said earlier, it is up to the people behind to really step up their game, and that also can also the flip over from playing attacking golf into destructive golf is a very fine line. And if you are trying a little too hard, you and Shaurya have played a lot of golf. You know exactly what I mean. That it can you can slip up quickly as well. I mean, you're in chase, but so yet another. That's 2 birds in a row on this par 3.
Rashwarpal Singh making it look easy here on the par 3, also moving to 3 under par for the tournament. So as we are talking, there are birdies being hurled on the course. Absolutely. And now Ajitesh Sandhu putting for a birdie. Can he follow suit and move to 4 under par? Completely clued in is Ajitesh, not taking his eyes off the target. And just like that, Ajitesh Sandhu moves to 4 under par for the tournament. 3 birdies from this 3 ball over here on the 11th. Another action replay. So Ajitesh Sandhu moving to 4 under par, joins Yash Majmudar now And he is also 1 shot behind Rashid Khan and 4 shots behind Khalin Joshi at this stage.
Viraj Madhapa there, little chip on. Should make that a fairly easy putt. So 3 out of 3 on that one, Rahul. It doesn't happen very often that all 3 members of the same flight get birdies on the same hole. And of course, Ajitesh had the best opportunity. But a lot of credit to the 2 young men on either who were flanking him in this group to have picked up the shot each as well.
While we chatter, in fact, Akshay Sharma has made 3 birdies on the trot on 10th, 11th and the 12th holes to move to 4 under par for the day and 3 under par for the tournament. Another few players on the course who are going on a complete tear is Honey Baisoya. Honey Baisoya currently 4 under par for the tournament to move himself to red figures in at 1 under par for the event. And Veer Elawat 3 under par for the day to move himself to even par for the tournament. Chikkarangappa S trying to undo yesterday's blemish, 2 under par, bogey free so far. So lots of players out there on the course going all guns blazing. Yuvraj Singh from Kapurthala also at 3 under par. Currently only 8 holes have passed in his round. Not an easy golf course this, the East Point Golf Club. Windy conditions here. Humidity is up at about 75%, making the conditions extremely challenging. On the 12th, Manjot Singh, right after a birdie. A nice right to left movement there on that drive, a push draw, and runs it by right into the middle of the fairway. Perfectly done. So we take a look now at Brashwarpal, 23 years of age, young professional golfer from the Chandigarh Golf Club. Chandigarh continuing to be the nursery that it is for professional golf. Really went at that one, Brashwarpal. That should be just about fine at the corner of the rough. We just have a clear shot from that angle, depending on where the flag location is for the day.
The other 2 all pretty much next to each other on the fairway. And this is that's already happening on the course. As you've seen, Rahul just pointed out, people are starting to cash in on the back 9, which is where they really want to be. Though our overnight leader from, in fact, day 2 onwards, Khalin Joshi has established a fairly comfortable 3-stroke margin over the field so far. Viraj Madhapa continues to wear that rather fetching head. I love that. It's just so great. Planter's hat, 2 under par for the event, and he's sitting for a bird.
Some seem to call it an Aussie bucket hat. Not quite sure which one is actually true, but I'm guessing the planter's hat is the terminology that came first.
Because I think by the time the Australia was established, and the British were already here planting tea bushes around different parts of India. So let's go with the planter's hat. I may be off by a few years. And apologies to Australia if I'm wrong.
In fact, I recently met an Australian who mentioned that his father was a planter in India, in Upper Assam, back in the 60s. So, both could be completely right.
Spillover effect. It's another high par group we have in front of us on screen just now, whereas Madhapa is picking up a shot. Arjun Sharma is up next.
Sharma putting for birdie as a lot of undoing to do after that big number on the scorecard, which he made on the 6th. And unfortunately, this one did not have enough pace to get into the hole. He knew it as soon as it took off.
Our order of merit leader Saptak Talwar is the third member of this flight. And Arjun, you could see that he set off after it almost as soon as he completed the putt. He knew that he had not done enough. So unfortunately, it was a good opportunity for him to have closed in on a better position than he is currently at the moment.
Saptak has been having a great season here, Rahul. In fact, I think he's one of the players to absolutely look out for from our Indian tour. He's won his first event last year at the JP Greens, the Adani Invitational, and went on to play really well just a couple of weeks back at the Hotel Planet Tour event at the ITC Golf Club. And just a week before that, he won at Ahmedabad as well. So really
nice shot. This green is a little tricky looking, isn't it, Rahul? You've got at least 3 sort of humps running across. So where do you look to put your ball? Do you want to go flag hunting and probably go hit over the green, or do you keep it short and then cater for at least one of those 3 bumps when you putt? Interesting challenge there for the players as they come on to this par 3 11th hole.
I think it's pretty much down to attacking the flag over here, because there isn't much of trouble around the green, and for all of the players you've been seeing, we saw it yesterday and we've seen it just in the group before these guys, that players actually go out and attack this hole, and the wind's playing a little bit from the left to the right, which makes it a pretty attacking flag location as well. There are some bunkers around the green, but I think none in play for these players. Viraj Madappa. Brilliant shot here by Viraj, setting himself up for a birdie opportunity well within 5 feet.
That was a brave shot, certainly. He just went for the flag. He was saying flag hunting is the need of those who are behind the leaders. And there was a perfect example of how to make the most. Here's our DP World PGTI order of merit leader on screen now. I beg your pardon, that's Arjun Sharma. Saptak, of course, is the third member of this flight.
Sharma, prolific ball striker, and a brilliant shot that by Arjun Sharma, setting himself up for another birdie opportunity here. Much needed to undo.
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
I'm sorry sir, my mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है. मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है. जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद.
Back to the live action over here. We are here at the Andhra Open 2026, supported by the host venue East Point Golf Club and the event partner Andhra Pradesh Golf Association. The East Point Golf Club and the APGA, the Andhra Pradesh Golf Association, have both done some fabulous work to promote the game of golf in their region, and their support to this tournament, of course, is worth mentioning as we take a look now at Rashid Khan, who is currently at 5 under par, 1 under par for the day, 3 shots away from Khalin Joshi. Lots of work to do. It's an uphill climb. Rashid, of course, looking for a victory. And as mentioned earlier by Preeti Daya, Rashid hasn't won since 2019. He's been knocking on the door fairly often off late. Seems like he'll have to push through the door this time. There's knocking just wouldn't help. They'll really have to get on a tear on the back nine. Birdie putt here on the 10th to move an inch closer. Does he have enough pace on it? And Rashid Khan leaves it short of the hole.
Looks pretty disgusted with that effort. And that was a really good opportunity there, Rahul, for him to, like you said, close the gap on the leader. Khalin is playing, and here we have another look. Just under-hitting on that ball a little bit. Probably giving the green a little more respect than required, Rahul.
Yes, I think so. I think, and one of the things that a lot of viewers may or may not know is that Rashid Khan is one of the best putters that I have ever seen. He really has that aggression on his putts. He doesn't fear going past the hole, and it's quite a surprise to see him leave one of those shots. Yash Majmudar putting for a birdie and makes it with that fist pump. Yash Majmudar to move to 5 under par, tie alongside Rashid Khan.
Well, as action warms up, we will have young Shaurya Singh join Rahul Bajaj in the hot seat, and to take you through the next phase of play.
Khalin Joshi putting for a bogey here. This will be a very important putt here for Khalin. As they say, it's easy to undo a bogey. Welcoming Shaurya Singh into the commentary booth. Shaurya, what do you think about the action that we are going to be bestowed with over this back nine here at EPGC? I think it is going to be an extremely interesting fight.
First of all, I want to thank all our lovely viewers for joining us on this wonderful Friday morning while Khalin gets back to business. And also thank Mr. Banerjee for making me feel young. It's not often that you get called that once you've ticked on the other side of 40. But yes, we do feel young. And somebody who's feeling extremely young is Khalin H. Joshi. After draining that putt, he's going to be adding to that lead. And here we have a look at the young prodigy, Manjot, with magical hands off the green. Really threw that out to the right side. And look at that, utilizing the lie of the green. Maybe wanting in terms of speed control there. About 4 feet ahead. But yes, Rahul, coming back to your point. Seems like this is going to be a final day to remember here at Visakhapatnam.
I have a feeling that things are going to get really interesting going into the back nine. We've been speaking about it now for quite some time. I think all the pressure is now on the players to give the viewers something, some masala from this back nine. Ajitesh Sandhu, currently 4 under par, chipping up here on hole number 12. Now the par 5, setting himself for another birdie opportunity here. Ajitesh Sandhu, what a beautiful chip attempt that.
I'll look at Ajitesh. I think one of the few golfers who travels with that big staff bag. Definitely helps make the caddy a lot stronger. Mind you, that weighs in almost 16, 17 kgs at times.
Majmudar on par 3, hole number 11th.
28 years of age. Based out of Jumeirah Golf Estates. This has been a favorite hole for a lot of the players. We've seen players get really close on this one. And I think that is definitely not his Sunday best. He'll be okay with that, with a 25-footer outside opportunity for birdie.
Take a look now at Rashid Khan. Of course, this is very much An attackable flag location today here on the 11th pin is 28 in from the front and placed in the center of the green. Makes it very attackable flag location. In fact, if you do cover the yardage fully, the putt actually tends to get a lot easier there. Shorter than the flag, you've got too much of swale to deal with, and Rashid Khan has done fantastically. In fact, using contours to get it even closer to the hole.
Rashid Khan doesn't want to get Khalin out of his sights.
Pressure now on Khalin Joshi to keep up the charge. Can he undo that bogey that he just came off?
I must say that I've seen him bounce back time and again, and I expect this to be close. What I really do like about Khalin is very assertive. He's a player who stays in the moment, in the present, and doesn't let the past linger on. Getting that a lot of elevation. And that is a decent shot. I think he would have wanted to do a little better, but an outside opportunity, 18 feet uphill, breaking a little right to left, and he'd be helped by Yash's putt as well, so can go to school on that and have an opportunity to try and claw back that lost shot. Still early days on the final day, and what a week. This tournament, the Andhra Open Golf Championship 2026, coincides with the Augusta Masters. So you have Masters in Georgia, and you have another Masters in Visakhapatnam at East Point Golf Club. And currently, the Master is Khalin Joshi. And look at that, Camilo Villegas, an ode to a champion, doing the Superman or Spider-Man. What was it, Rahul?
Chandigarh's Camilo Villegas, I think. And Spider-Man for sure. Manjot Singh now finally ready with that line. Couldn't go wrong with that one.
Yeah, I definitely won't have that caddy on the bag. You're never going to go wrong on the line. Flamboyant.
Might be a yogi in his off time. Yeah, it all works out, my friend. Manjot Singh making another birdie here on the par 5.
I'd like
hole
to say,
number 12.
Look at the smile on his face. He knows what he's doing. Combs, if you can hear us, we want to have a replay of that. That is how you read the line, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, you got to be fit as a fiddle. Otherwise, you might just stay down on the green and not be able to get up.
I think we just went to school in terms of flexibility right there. And back to the leader group, Khalin Joshi.
While we mull our fitness routines, let's get back to the leaderboard and have a look at some of the scores. Rashid Khan, of course, 3 under par. And we're seeing a lot better numbers today. That's primarily due to the wind, which is quieted down a lot compared to yesterday. You have Akshay Sharma, 4 under par. You have Honey Baisoya, who's made 5 birdies on the back 9. Stupendous. And Veer Alawat, former number 1, showing us a little bit of that gold dust. Chika Rangappa, 2 under par. Brijesh Kumar, 3 under par. Divyanshu Bajaj, the man from Kolkata, the city of joy, having a little bit of joy today with 3 under par and getting back to Yash with his birdie attempt. 2 shots ahead. Is definitely pretty much in it. Trailing the leader by 2. And this looks good. This looks good. And does it ever? That's how you get it done, my friend. 26, 27 feet, but made it look really easy.
A young Yash Majmudar, his first tournament this year on the DP World PGTI, and he moves to 6 under par. That gives all the pressure onto Khalin Joshi to make that birdie putt and keep moving away from Majmudar. Majmudar seems to have his eyes set pretty straight. All the pressure now is on Khalin Joshi.
Yes, he's seeing that lead evaporate. Ajitesh Sandhu also getting into the fray, making a birdie on hole number 2. We've just on hole number 12, just gotten an update. He moves to 5 under par. And Yash, of course, has moved to 6. So currently, Khalin, this putt to maintain his lead. Can he fight fire with fire? Khalin Joshi, this putt would break from his right. Oh, just towards the end, a little bit of heartbreak. That looked good. Right at the end, wearing away. And now that door is wide open.
This putt for Rashid Khan also to move to 6 under par. And this would be Rashid and Majmudar then trailing Khalin Joshi just by 1 shot, as Ajitesh Sandhu with that birdie on the par 5 hole number 12 has also moved to 5 under par. So things are getting really heated over here at EPGC. No pun intended. It was pretty hot already in terms of the weather conditions, but the golf that is being brought on over here is throwing things into a whole new level. Rashid Khan.
Oh, that did it look to you that he almost hurried that a little bit? It took maybe all of 5 seconds to hit that button. That is out of character for Rashid Khan after such a brilliant shot. This is the club that has yielded him a lot of success, and rather he's wielded it with such aplomb all throughout his career. So it's surprising for him to have missed that 4-footer there, Rahul.
In fact, I want to know, what did Honey Baisoya eat midway today? Because he's gone onto that back nine and he's made birdies on hole number 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. I can't wait to see what he's going to do on 17th and 18th holes.
Rahul, this is your opportunity to say hi, a warm hello, and connect with our viewers.
Well, back to the action over here. While, of course, we are always looking forward to connect with our viewers. That was us here from the commentary box at the studios here in Noida.
Yes, now you can put a face to that voice of Rahul Bajaj as he analyzes the final day. I think it's really going to be one day to remember. And I thought it might even turn out to be a runaway victory, the way that Khalin started and at one point in time had quite a sizable lead. But as it often happens, the mystery unfolds on the back nine. And of course it's Masters week, so they say the Masters doesn't start until the back nine on Sunday.
Well, certainly it is the Masters week, Shaurya, and there is something in the air, right, for professional golf, for golfers across the world when it's a major championship week, and that's just the feeling that I'm sure all of our viewers, as well as all of the golfers on the course today, also have. And of course, with that, the live telecast of the Masters has also begun. And I think the leading score currently is at 5 under par over there. We've got a birdie opportunity here on the 13th for Ajitesh Sandhu. Can Ajitesh Sandhu move himself further closer and tie Majmudar at 6 under par? Be only 1 shot behind Khalin Joshi. This will give a lot of pressure to our leader.
Unique back nine with 3 par 3s.
And 3 par 5s.
So you had an opportunity for Ajitesh to make a birdie.
Yeah, now pace. Unfortunately,
had to putt over that shoulder and then downhill from there on. Ajitesh Sandhu has stitched together quite a career, has Ajitesh.
Absolutely, a clean round so far here at EPGC, and moving on to the next hole, which is the par 5 14th. Yet another opportunity, 551 yard par 5, stroke index of 2. Brashwar Pal now.
You must be wondering, for the viewers, what is that blue tape? Now, there are certain injuries that have to be managed in professional golf, often ligament injuries. So the tape helps to compress the area of the injury. Then you can play pain-free. But I'd say it's a temporary fix. Doesn't quite fix the injury, but allows you to go on about your business without causing further damage. And soft tissue injury is such a big thing in sport, and especially now as golf has become more of a power sport. Everybody's trying to hit the ball further. So this is one of the drawbacks of that.
Manjot Singh, he's hit it pretty close on this par 3. And there we have Punjab's Camilo Vijagas.
I think he knows he's on TV. Are we going to see oh, look at that. Yes, on cue. Camilo is back.
Just in a different dress this time. And Manjot Singh, another birdie over here for the youngster, playing a bogey-free round of 4 under par today. Moves to 5 under par as well. I must say, great show by all of these youngsters. Manjot Singh, Brashwarpal Singh, putting up an absolute show, in their young age, in their golfing career. Par putt here for Brashwarpal. Brashwarpal at this moment, I'm pretty sure, is wondering if his brother can also do these antics.
It's not easy, I'll tell you. It requires a lot of strength and flexibility. I'm sure his brother can manage, but I think Manjot's caddy is going to be in hot demand after this. In all fairness, it's a good way to read the line. You get closest to the level of the ground. There more, as they say, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but another way is that you lie prone on the green, but that's not allowed because you would damage the green. So this is the way that you have minimal contact with the surface of the green while also getting close to it. Almost like a hawk descending upon the green.
I can't quite help but notice that Honey Baisoya has only made 2 pars today through 16 holes. And on the back 9, he's made none. And he's 6 under par for the day.
I have a question for you. We'll just get back to that. We saw Viraj chipping yesterday with the open club face and sort of using the bounce and generating some spin. We saw that chip. I don't quite recollect where he's trying to hold it. So this would be interesting. He's employing a technique of chipping which is a lot more aggressive than just trying to get up and down.
Certainly, I think Viraj has shown us some really good chipping all of yesterday. He's shown us, in fact, 2 shots where he nearly holed them. Can he do the same over here? Or maybe actually just hold it?
He's giving it a lot more air. That's a decent chip right there. Coming back to Honey's round, yes, pars are definitely not being threatened by him. It's all about birdies. And of course, when you make a lot of birdies, you can have a few bogeys as well. That's just, as they say, how the cookie crumbles.
That's the kind of ability that players must possess if they want to win golf tournaments in this day and age. Birdies are the ones that cut it, and you should also have the prowess to be able to do so. Saptak Talwar, the man who certainly has that sort of prowess, coming up for a birdie.
I'm not quite certain if we saw Saptak sporting a hat yesterday. I think is it a flavor of this week owing to the oppressive sun, or what is it? Or it's a fashion statement?
I certainly think it's a bit of a fashion statement, but majorly it is due to the weather conditions here in Visakhapatnam.
Birdie putt on this par 5 for Saptak. That's a decently hit putt. So we've gotten an update from our co-commentator, Mr. Banerjee, saying that that's a bucket oblique a fisherman's hat. So yeah, he's definitely does know his hats, and Saptak is getting there as well. And I believe Rahul Bajaj says he's going to wear one the next time that he is playing golf.
And I'm going to wear it well within this commentary box.
Yeah, I think, yes, we need to liven things up. So yeah, let's get your bucket hat, my friend. Definitely a theme of the week.
You don't seem to be taking my bucket hat very seriously. What do you mean liven things up?
Let's wait for Viraj to liven them up with this short birdie putt.
No trouble here for Viraj Madappa. Moves to 2 under par for the day and 4 under par for the tournament. Arjun Sharma.
I'm rather surprised with that triple bogey by Arjun. I thought that this might be the week that he would finally get the monkey off his back. Makes a birdie, moves to 2 under par. And yeah, not to be from the looks of it. And he finds himself 5 behind with 5 to play. So unfortunate triple bogey for Arjun. That seems to have put paid to his hopes. Now the battle of the hats continues.
Hole number 13 now, 185-yard par 3. Pin today is 18 in and 3 from the left, so a pretty tight pin position with that left corner of the green. We did see Manjot Singh get really close to that whole location. Let's see if any of these players, Viraj Madappa, Saptak Talwar or Arjun Sharma, can get that golf ball to go as close as that. Viraj Madappa there, 28 years of age, 3 professional victories, comes in all the way from Tollygunge Club, Kolkata. So an Asian Tour winner is Viraj.
Just having a look at the record for Khalin, and his last victory was in 2022. So it's been a while, but he's been knocking on the door. He's a really good player. The previous year, he's had a runners-up finish and 3 third-place finishes. So, of course, can golf his ball, no doubt about that. Well, we go back to Viraj on hole number 13. Hole number 13, 185. 7-iron for a lot of these players. Maybe an 8 for the longer hitters, so no trouble. And a very inviting flagstick for them to use the slope today. And I think this is a definite birdie flag. Trying to just pitch it on the center, turn it a little from the right, utilize the slope, feed it towards the hole. And that's one of the reasons we've seen quite a few birdies here on 13 and barely any drop shots. So
Arjun Sharma quite has the ball flight of a high draw that he hits. He can get pretty close to this flag location.
And it's also on a good roll as well. He's just made 2 birdies on the trot, 32 years of age. He likes to work the ball from right to left and hits his irons quite far. So it would only be a 3/4 7-iron for him. Pitch it towards the center and then turn it over. Add to that streak of birdies. Yeah, he's hit an absolute beauty there under the flag. About 7 feet. That's a brilliant shot by Arjun. Pretty much what the doctor ordered. The thing about golf is it just takes one mistake to drop 3 shots, and you have to make so many good things happen. Good shot, good putt in order to make 3 birdies.
It's very tough to undo a big number, but that's why they say if you can get away from trouble by dropping 1 shot, just do that. You can make 1 birdie and get away with it on the next. Or if you dropped more than that, it's just a big uphill battle from there. Saptak Talwar now.
Saptak has definitely been in the form of his life. Winning in Ahmedabad, then a runner-up finish. And we're not quite certain where that ball is.
But I do think that Saptak has actually got a lot of great golf in him, and he is just about getting started. He is that player that I think Indian golf should look out for. He does go and play internationally a fair bit and doesn't hold back. So he is certainly a name that I would keep looking out for over the next few years. There we have that aerial view of, I think, the hole number 16th, the par 3, which is guarded by the penalty areas, these water hazards on either side of the green, giving the players almost no room to work with. And of course, the picture is setting with that little hill at the back, of course, makes for a bad shot. Also appear quite pretty.
I personally would like to see a lot more of these holes. You know, as they say, can you really remember any par 3 over the length of 190?
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या वाली जिद क्या वाली जिद क्या वाली जिद
We're back live. And as my co-commentators promised, plenty of action on the back nine. We've just seen the lead cut to just one stroke now. Khalin Joshi, having dropped a shot on the par 5 10th hole, is now 7 under par for the tournament, one ahead of Yash Mujmudar, who's picked up 2 in a row, playing in the same group. This is our lead group here, all three of them, Rashid Khan furthest from the camera. And interesting run by Honey Baisoya, Shaurya. He's picked up 5, 6 shots, in fact. A little late in the day, but he's still carried good enough to propel him into the top 10.
Yeah, I'd say it's never too late for birdies, and he's just made 6. You know, the last time we called it, he'd made 5, and now we've gotten an update that he's not quite done yet and can move to 4 under par. And you never know if the wind picks up here in Visakhapatnam, it can get a little tricky for the leaders, and you know, posting a score is half the battle, I'd say. Well, we have a look at Rashid Khan, 2-time winner on the Asian Tour, prolific player, has kept his card numerous times, and this time was able to secure it as well. So it seems to be a year of resurgence for the man from Delhi. This has a lot of break in it, this putt, and I think he's judged that well. Just ran out of gas right at the end. A little more steam and would have gotten there. Rashid Khan stays at 5 under par. That shows a considerable amount of break. The apex point almost about 5 to 7 feet left of the flag. A wry smile there. Yash Majmudar, an opportunity for him to really put a lot of pressure on Khalin.
In fact, if he converts, for the moment, this is an eagle putt which will actually give him the outright lead. So he's just one behind Khalin at the moment, and they're all playing together. So watch out for this one.
Yeah, this is quite the putt, and if this were to go in, Yash can supplant the leader, and there would be a new man on top of the summit. And that goes a begging. That was a nice putt. Unfortunately, he'll have to make do with Birdie.
broke at the very last minute. Young man really disappointed here. A good chance. But certainly he's keeping the pressure on Khalin Joshi. Shaurya is keeping Khalin honest and nose to the grindstone, so to say, because the lead at the moment just one, and Khalin will need to convert this to stay ahead. Otherwise, it gives young Yash Majmudar the opportunity to pull level on 7 under par. Khalin Joshi with a birdie putt of his own. This is to keep the lead and recover from that dropped shot on hole number 10. He's certainly taking his time. He knows the stakes are getting higher, and it's now certainly getting interesting.
Often there are parts that determine the outcome of a tournament, and as they say, you can feel it in your bones, and I think this is one of them. He wants to maintain that lead, and especially with Yash having missed his eagle, he doesn't want to give out any free lunches. That's Khalin, the seasoned campaigner. He can see a threat when he sees one, and this one is really well done, right in the heart of the hole for Khalin, so he would maintain that lead, and I think this was so important. It was imperative, and he knows the importance of that part. You can see that fist bump. Khalin Joshi, ladies and gentlemen, continues to lead this tournament at 8 under par. Of course, young Yash Majmudar, my apologies, is closing in, and then you have Mr. Cool, Rashid Khan. Now there's an air of I've seen it all, I've done it all, and I'm back here again. Diminutively built, but has a lot of firepower. There's Rashid Khan at 5 under par. Now to the 13th, we've seen quite a few birdies here, so an opportunity for Yash to add to that streak that he's built up. He's made 4 on the trot. So burning lead at this point in time. He's hot, ladies and gentlemen. He's on a trail, and he's hot on the trail of our leader Khalin Joshi, and some of the other players who are lighting their own trail on the course. There is Honey Baisoya, 6 under par, 5 birdies on the trot, and 6 on the back 9. He really does have a penchant for making birdies in droves. And here we have a look at Yash teeing it up on the extreme left-hand side. Now, for the uninitiated, that is being done because he is would like to favor a right-to-left draw, and I think that's a very good setup that he's done, especially with the pin being there on the left. So he doesn't need to flirt with the flag. He can just keep it on the center of the green and let the ball draw back. If it doesn't, he has a 20-footer. If it does draw back, then he'll be inside 10 feet. So I think he's already done good work in terms of his preparation, and that ball starts out right. Look for it to turn back. And our eyes are deceiving us at this point in time. We can't quite see. Maybe it's under that that hump on the green, which is there towards the front right. You're trying to trace the ball. Did start out to the right-hand side. Khalin as well, teeing it up on the left-hand side. Doesn't take much time at all to pull the trigger. And that's, you see a penchant, the good ball strikers, they all have their affinity towards fast play because they're so certain of their long game. They don't need to second guess themselves. So they see their target, they know their yardages, and they're very thoroughly prepared. Khalin, probably going with an 8-iron. Hits his irons astronomical distances, does Khalin Joshi, the man who's grown up in Bengaluru and has hit an absolute peach. Look at that, getting better every second, and that's how you get it done, ladies and gentlemen. He was put under the cosh a little bit with Yash having made so many birdies, but he's come up with the right answer. Rashid Khan. Also, another speedy Gonzalez. As you can see, from the time that Khalin's ball has landed, it might be only less than 10 seconds and he's pulled the trigger. He's come up right there in the center of the green. About 25 feet for Birdie. Not his best effort, but I'd say it's a good shot nevertheless because the wind is starting to pick up. And now back to Manjot.
This is an interesting group, Shaurya. In fact, Ajitesh is really setting a hot pace, and he's got these two youngsters who will sort of in Formula One parlance, you could say they're drafting with him. He's creating sort of the windbreak, he's setting the pace, and they're following in his footsteps. Manjot is 4 under for the day, as is Ajitesh, while Brashwarpal is the third member. He is also very much in contention, 2 under. So as a group, collectively, these three are 10 under par for today, which is great. And this is the sort of example you would expect a senior player like Ajitesh to set. And it's good to see that the two youngsters he has with him are, following the lead and not taking a step back.
And another thing, yes, it's an all Chandigarh group. And Brashwarpal and Manjot are enjoying his slipstream. And another one, a good par putt by a stylish man from the city, from the Tri-City. I was trying to think it's called the City of Joy, but that's Kolkata.
Chandigarh is now the Tri-City area is because of you have these subsidiary townships that have come around. It's no longer they're full cities on their own rights. Mohali on one side, and it's really grown. Zirakpur on one side, so it's literally 3 cities in one now. Manjot, unfortunately, dropping a shot here. It's will interrupt his momentum so far. He's been on a really fine run and worked himself up into a share of third place alongside Ajitesh. But there's still plenty of golf to be played. And Rashid Khan now, he's on the par 3. 13th hole. But Khalin seems to have found a second wind, Shaurya, because like you saw in the soon after the turn, he dropped a shot and allowed Majmudar to literally close up to within a stroke. But he's, I think, rediscovered his focus and sort of put his head down and said, no, I'm not going to let this go. Like you said, it's been 4 years almost since he won his last title on the DP World PGTI, which was at Coimbatore.
Now, Yash, sorry for that, Rahul. Yes, you're right. Of course, he knows the importance of this occasion. And Yash, with that rather unique style of putting, I don't know whether you call it the claw or it's a variation of the claw, 25 feet downhill, right to left from off the green. Looks like he's done really well here.
Excellent effort there. Really, in terms of distance, you could take nothing away from that. If you want to see an example of lag putting, this is probably one of the better examples right in front of you. You have to cover pretty much the entire breadth of the green. Majmudar, and he's done a great job. Rashid Khan will be up next. Also looking to close in on the leader. Who's really the best player of the three?
Do you mean to say that in terms of this hole or just... Okay, of course, yeah. Sorry, I kind of missed my train of thought there. But yes, of course, he's the best placed. And Rashid Khan, not too badly placed himself. 5 under par. If he can hold this long putt, can really set the cat among the pigeons. And I think he's definitely not holding back there.
Pin position today on this hole, probably the easiest of the 4 days. It's almost in the center of the green, which also takes 2 levels of the green out of play if you hit well, which Khalin Joshi has done. He's found a plateau between 2 slightly contour areas of the green. This is a big green. So Khalin did a great job of putting his ball in a place where he can actually look to now buttress his lead. He is 1 ahead of Majmudar up to this point, having picked up 1 shot on the 12th. And a good opportunity to make it to make his cushion a little more comfortable than it is at the moment.
This is the all-important moment. Now he's seen 3 balls travel on this very line, and that helped him. Assertive putt by Khalin Joshi, extending his lead. Calmly going about his work, making 2 birdies on the trot. That was not as easy as it looked. If anything, that didn't have any break on it, and those are probably the most difficult putts downhill. And you don't quite have any give on either side, no leeway, so you have to be perfect. Now, they say often that a straight putt is the easiest, but for professional golfers, I can tell you from experience that straight putts are probably the most difficult ones. Oh, this putter is just not working for Rashid Khan. He's missed 2 on the right-hand side. So definitely there's a little bit of chink in the armor, especially on those shorter putts for Rashid Khan. He's doing everything right from tee to green, but unraveling on the putting surface.
A very disgusted look on Rashid's face. He knew that he can't afford to drop further off the pace than he already is. He's now.
Of course, he knows his game better than all of us, but I feel that if there's something called as playing too fast, that might be it. Of course. Oh, this is another one. Bites the dust and missing it to the right as well. And this, Khalin Joshi would not complain about that. He's now built that lead up to 3 shots in the blink of an eye, and 3 with 6 holes to go. 5 holes to go is, you can say that he's sitting pretty. Now, this was a mere 1.5 feet, and that's what I said, Rahul, that these putts are not easy downhill, and this had a considerable break from the left, and you sort of got between hell and high water because you have to be committing to the hit. That means that you have to hit the ball at least 2 feet past the hole for it to hold its line. And if you try to diet or baby it in, what he tried, it just veers away. So those are not the easiest of putts downhill with break on them. You want to negate out the break, and if you don't, you sort of left to the mercy of the green, and that's what's happened there. And thus you see Khalin back on top with a 3-shot lead over Yash, Ajitesh and Viraj Madappa. Rashid Khan, of course, now traveling the other direction. Talking about traveling the other direction, the Artemis 2 is made its trip around its moon, the dark side of the moon. We've been back to the lunar surface, or at least around it, after I think almost a period of 50 years or so. So, as they say, one small step for man, a great step for mankind. Back to hole number 14, Saptak Talwar. Easy to discern, kind courtesy, the hat on the par 5. Shot number 3, it says here, and that has been hit a little bit to the right-hand side for Saptak on the par 5 that measures 551 yards. So for these boys, it's not really a challenge to get there in 2. Even the medium hitter should be there, should be able to get there in 2 with a driver and a 3-wood. And for the longer hitters, I suspect they'll be getting there with irons. Such is the prodigious length that the new generation of golfers hit it. Arjun Sharma also showing shot 3, which might be an error as well. So let's hold off on that. I suspect it's his second shot here, coming from about 200 odd yards. And a really good shot there, about 15 feet left. I think from the trajectory, it might well have been his third. We'll soon find out. Although we've seen this hole yield quite a few birdies today. Viraj Madappa. Has to navigate those trees. I'm not quite certain if he's able to hit it over that. He seems to be deep in thought. And from that setup, you can see that the right leg is a little behind the left. That would tell you that he's aiming to the right and would want to shut the club face and hit a draw. That ball would have curvature from the right, and yes, it appears that he has done that, but the ball hasn't quite acquiesced. But the tree has helped a little bit, so got a friendly bounce and got that back in the fairway. Otherwise, it was heading into trouble. So friendly bounce nevertheless. And back to Brashwar Pal. Brashwar Pal Singh. Currently 2 under par for the day. 1 under, just made bogey on the par 5. Really nice action there from about 60-70 yards out. Consistent speed, but leaving it under the hole, about 25-20 feet. So he's not going to be happy with how that turned out.
Especially when you see the other ball, one of the others in this group has stuck that ball to what 4 or 5 feet just behind the flag. You can see there was probably Ajitesh Sandhu's ball there. So, yeah, with as far as Viraj is concerned, I'm sure he would be very happy to take all the help that he can get. Sometimes if you stray offline on this course, as we've seen again and again, it can punish you very quickly. And even when you're on the dance floor, there's no guarantees, just like we saw Yash Majmudar and Rashid Khan there missed their putts from between 3 and 4 feet, inside of 4 feet in one case, and a couple of feet in the other. So,
and in a different discussion altogether, this tournament is the 7th this year. So there's been a jam-packed schedule. And the week after this, you head on over to Hyderabad for the Boulders Classic. And that also would be an event for 1 crore with 15 lakhs going to the winner. And mind you, ladies and gentlemen, you also have the world ranking points, the much wanted world ranking points here. And then back here, home to Gurugram for the DP World Players Championship at Classic Golf and Country Club, the venue for the Hotel Planner event, where Saptak Talwar was so close, but got undone by MJ Daffy. Or Duffy, my apology. That is a difficult name to pronounce. And but a brilliant showing by our Indian star. So the schedule comes at you thick and fast, and we would implore our viewers to go watch the golf. The great thing is that it's mostly free. It's in your backyard. Head on over, enjoy the greens, look at some of these young golfers, encourage them, learn a thing or two, and maybe play a little bit as well. Go to the range, see the Pro-Am Day. There are a lot of clinics that happen, and there's always a lot of fun and education to be had, both simultaneously. And while we talk about fun and education, let's welcome back while we look at Brashwar Pal Singh. After that approach shot will not be making birdie. But somebody who's made a lot of birdie in his time is Rahul Bajaj in the blue corner, getting back into the limelight.
Ajitesh Sandhu is up next. Had a very nice approach shot, and that this setting on a birdie putt that gives him a chance to actually catch up with Yash Majmudar in second place Majmudar just having dropped a shot on the par 3 13th, so which allowed Khalin Joshi to balloon his lead back to 3 strokes. Khalin Joshi now back to 2 under for the day and 9 under for the tournament. And Ajitesh Sandhu on screen now with a birdie putt that will allow him to climb into a share of second place. Playing some great golf. This very calm young man from Chandigarh. The all Chandigarh trio. In fact, they're been beautifully converted. Wonderful read. Great selection of line and pace. And Ajitesh Sandhu now in a tie for second place alongside Yash Majmudar. He's playing some splendid golf today, Rahul. Ajitesh now will go to 5 under for the day, which is probably the only card other than Honey Baisoya, who was on a ripper. Unfortunately, dropped a shot on the 18th to finish with 5 under, but he was at 6 under for at one point in time. Honey Baisoya, I mean. And Ajitesh Sandhu pretty much on track to, he's matching that and a chance to improve, in fact, on Honey's top score of the day, low score of the day.
Manjot Singh putting for birdie here. And yes, yet another birdie for Manjot. Young Manjot Singh moves to 5 under par for the tournament. And it's worth appreciating, of course, that Ajitesh has been having that bogey-free round today, but also Manjot Singh playing phenomenally well and putting himself into a great position here at the Andhra Open 2026. While Brashwar Singh, currently at 2 under par, is searching for the line.
Jitesh, in fact, is acting something of a pace setter for this group. All 3 Chandigarh boys from Chandigarh. He's sort of playing a lead role alongside the 2 young men who are playing with him, and who are actually keeping pace for a good part of the way until Brashwar dropped a shot a little while ago. Otherwise, they've been matching him step for step almost all the way. So great leadership in its own way, and Ajit is, of course, leading the Rajasthan team to victory in the league that that was played last month, a couple of months ago. And there, excellent conversion for a bird there.
On to the live action back again. It seems like a bit of a technical little glitch that we had. Honey Baisoya has had quite a round, and I think we'll be hearing from him very soon. Finished at 2 under par for the tournament with a round of 5 under par. And in that round, he's only made 3 pars, mind you. He's got a card full of birdies and just a few bogeys to finish at 5 under par for the day. As we take a look here. Brilliant golf shot over here. Nearly darting that at the flag location. That was Yash Majmudar on hole number 14.
Certainly was an all-action round from Honey Baisoya, Rahul. 10 birdies and 5 bogeys. And even the 3 pars would have been almost like a snoozy little interim in between all of the reaction.
Rahul, do you remember there was a time when we used to see Ajitesh come up with 8 under par rounds pretty often? We used to see a lot of 65s and 64s from him. I think it was just a few years ago, where he would kind of put himself into a position of play over the first 2 days, and over the last 2 days he would go on an absolute tear. In fact, that was also something that Anirban Lahiri used to do a lot. He used to come around in the last 2 rounds and suddenly go 8 under and just sweep away the tournament. And Ajitesh seems to be pulling together a round just like that as of now. 5 under par for the day, 6 under for the tournament, tied alongside Yash Majmudar, while Khalin Joshi leads the way, 3 shots ahead at 9 under par. And of course, Khalin is also not going to be letting up. He's just made 2 birdies on 12th and 13th, and now he's got the par 5 14th. Can he move the needle further to 10 under par?
Action at the Andhra Open Golf Championship. I have with me one of the most famous names on the circuit, Honey Baisoya, at the DP World PGTI. And Honey, overall, you are the winner of the tour. You've had 8 wins under your belt, but this has been a difficult week. How would you summarize your outing at Vizag?
It was challenging. The first 3 days, the wind was blowing really hard, and even though I made a bogey on the last, but I still shot 5 under today, so I'm really happy.
Yeah.
I was about to miss the cut on the second day. Made a chip in on the second last hole and I made the cut on number. So it was a good week for me.
This is a new course and of course a new event on the calendar as well. How would you say your experience has been? Because the conditions have been very challenging with tough wind conditions coming into play, heat, humidity, everything there. How does a golfer really prepare for something like this?
You don't really prepare for this. The wind was about like 30 miles per hour on the first 3 days. It was really hard, and on the final day it was opposite. There was literally no wind and it was so hot that we were just more than focusing on how to play well, we were just trying to walk.
Yeah. So Honey, I have to say that not age-wise but experience-wise, you bring with yourself a lot of exposure to conditions and to playing across the circuit. What about the youngsters on this particular tour? Do you feel that we have a lot of talent upcoming and also the kind of challenge that they are presenting to the veterans?
Yeah, definitely. I don't feel too old, but there are a few youngsters who just come on the tour. Shubham Jaglan and Karthik Singh are of them. They play really well, and I really wish they have a bright future and they play well.
Okay, and final question to you. What are your plans for a comeback now, scripting it from here?
In the next 2 weeks, I just want to finish inside top 5. I just want to play well. I don't want to set a target to win because I've already won. If I just think about playing well, I may win, but we'll see.
No, we all would love to see you win again. Of course, thank you so much and all the very best for the upcoming challenges. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Back to you guys in our comm box.
Well, there we have it from Honey Baisoya, the player who shot 5 under par today on this treacherous golf course, the East Point Golf Club. Back on the 14th hole, we've got Rashid Khan chipping it up from the right side of the green. A fantastic golf shot. Low side miss, but has done fairly well from there. Very makeable putt for an up and down. For those of you who are just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Andhra Open Golf Championship 2026 being played here at the East Point Golf Club in Visakhapatnam for a prize purse of 1 crore rupees. You're watching some of the best professional golfers in the country playing here on the DP World PGTI. Khalin Joshi is our leader at 9 under par. We've got 5 holes remaining to decide who will be the victor. Seems like Khalin has left himself a bit of work over here to do for par.
Surprising considering he made so much he profited from the par 5s yesterday, Rahul. 1 eagle and a birdie out of the 3. Today he's bogeyed the first one and here he's putting to save par.
It's the interesting part of sports, isn't it? Every day isn't the same, and in golf, every hole isn't the same. In fact, the course also plays so differently from the morning to the evening that things can completely change. And of course, this is a whole new situation. Khalin for par. We are 15 feet away from the hole. He's playing alongside Yash Majmudar, who has been trailing him. And Khalin leaves that short of the hole. Khalin Joshi would go on to drop a shot here on par 5, 14th, to go to 8 under par for the tournament. Rashid Khan, unfortunately, has slipped off to 4 under par, so not quite a challenger at this stage in the tournament. We take a look at Dubai's Yash. A very unorthodox way of holding the putter. Yash also is putting for a par. Quite surprising considering it's a par 5. And Yash Majmudar on his knees. That's what this game does. It brings you down to your knees. 5 under par now for Yash Majmudar, maintaining the gap between himself and Khalin Joshi. And at this stage, Ajitesh Sandhu is at solo second, 6 under par.
And that was a crucial putt for this young man. And it also opens the door for Ajitesh Sandhu, who's been playing some absolutely steady golf, to now take sole ownership of second place. Rashid Khan, like Rahul Bajaj said a little while ago, has fallen off the pace somewhat, and time running out. There's
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है. मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने एक चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है. जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद.
Back to the live action over here at the picturesque EPGC, just 15 kilometers away from the Visakhapatnam city is this picturesque golf course, flanked by these mountains on two sides and a lake on the other. Windy conditions here at Visakhapatnam. Tough golf course that the players are having to contend with. Weather conditions are 30 degrees centigrade, but players say it feels like 45 degrees owing to the humidity, which is at about 75%.
certainly this is the group that is seeing a lot of action, Rahul. Ajitesh really setting a pace for his young compatriots from Chandigarh, all three from the Tri-City area. And as you mentioned, I mean, the finally we see the breeze has actually picked up till now, pretty much very slow moving up to this point, but finally you can see the breeze has picked up as it did yesterday. So will that, or could that be a factor over these closing holes? We will see, but for the moment it is Prashwar Pal Singh with a long birdie putt.
Prashwar Pal coming up short of the hole by about 4 feet. You know, this is an interesting group of line readers, I must say. We've got one person who nearly goes to Spider-Man, the other ones who've got the techniques where they feel the slopes with their feet and then judge it by their hand gestures. And then we've got Ajitesh, very traditionalist in his approach, and quite an interesting group. One can completely pick and choose which is your method, your style. Why don't you all comment in that YouTube chat box? Which of the three methods would you be using to read the line when you step out on the golf course next?
Just on this point, Rahul, how much of trust, or that's not the right word, how much does a player in a situation like this depend on the line his caddy would suggest? Is it fully, there you go, another demo of Spider-Man for, I think it's young Manjot's caddy. Yes, he's been very active. He's Probably part of his fitness routine as well. So yeah, coming back to that question, how much trust would the would the player put on his caddy with all of the exertions and the press ups and the Spider-Man routine? Does he finally take a call on his own, or is it a long putt there, about 20, 25 feet, but just keeping it a little on the low side? Unfortunately, all of the exertion from his caddy going a begging. Maybe he just decided to go his own way, and because the young man certainly did indicate the ball should go onto the other side rather than this. So maybe it was the last minute call by the man with the flat stick in his hand, deciding to override his caddy's suggestion.
And
What is the norm? Is it how much of it do you trust yourself, or how much do you follow what you've been told?
Exertion is quite the term, though, Mr. Banerjee, I must say.
Hyper young man for sure.
Let's take a look now at Ajitesh putting for par, and going into pressure situations, going into playing in these type of conditions. Ajitesh dropping the first shot of the day today here on the 16th hole, par 3. He would move down to 5 under par, and the gap between him, Manjot, Viraj Madappa, Yash Majmudar, and the leader Khalin Joshi goes to 3 shots. And as you were mentioning earlier, I think players would always rely, if you look at the top golfers in the world, there's nearly no consulting with the caddy of the line. In fact, a lot of times you'll find that the caddy is actually standing outside of the green or on a completely different part of the green while they're reading the line and judging their putt. And here we've got some foot movements there to judge the slopes. I've never quite understood the methodology yet, but let's see if this works for Brashwarpal Singh putting for a par. Stick around at 2 under par. Brashwarpal Singh cleaning that up beautifully, and as we just get to the business end of things, we've only got about 4 holes remaining for our leader group. Notable scores of the day: Ajitesh Sandhu currently 4 under par for the tournament, 4 under par for the day. Manjot Singh also 4 under par for the day. We got Viraj Madappa 3 under par with 4 birdies and a bogey on that scorecard. We have Akshay Sharma, who's got 2 holes remaining to be played and is at 5 under par for the day. Saptak Talwar at 3 under par. We also have Honey Baisoya, who's finished 5 under par for the day, and Chikkarangappa S, Abhinav Lohan, as well as Angad Chima finishing up 2 under par for the day. Karthik Singh 3 under par for the day, and Brijesh Kumar also 3 under par for the day. Angad Chima there with that putt. Seems like the putter has him down to his knees. Playing alongside Dhruv Shoran and Mohammad Azhar. Chima, who is at 2 under par for the tournament, and Dhruv Shoran is at even par for the tournament. Mohammad Azhar as well at even par for the tournament. Mohammad Azhar putting here on hole number 17th, the par 4. The 376-yard hole. Pretty straightforward. Great attempt that by Azhar. Aggressive one. Not quite wasting much of time there in getting ready to putt that one. Run so beautifully. If we take a look now at Dhruv Shoran from Gurugram. The double vision there. Got Viraj Madappa, Saptak Talwar on the live cam 2, as you see on the right side of your screens. And Dhruv Shoran putting here on hole number 17. Gives that an aggressive one, and still got about 3 feet remaining. Talwar today with his fisherman's hat, as we've discussed all the different types of hats, all the education being given away by Mr. Rahul Banerjee, the eminent sports journalist that we have here with us.
Didn't Robert Shaw have a hat on in Jaws? The guy who was a fisherman who finally gets that shark, or almost does, before he gets eaten up. So yeah, I think there's plenty of history behind such headway.
A solid shot here by Saptak Talwar.
Shoran cleaning up there on live cam 1 for you. And action continues on live cam 2.
The pin on the 16th hole today is at 25 in from the front and 4 from the right, making it a pretty accessible flag location, although the 16th is a long par 3. It spans over 210 yards, so Saptak has placed himself quite beautifully in the middle of the green for a birdie opportunity. As we take a look now at Viraj Madappa.
Another member of the Hat Brigade. Since we are circling around this topic again and again, but it's needed. It's a hot day, it's a humid day, and certainly one hopes that the players are all keeping themselves well hydrated. Viraj Madappa on the par 3 16th.
On the left side of the green, just coming off it, Viraj Madappa should be pin high to the flag location, although on the other side of the green.
Flirted a little bit with danger there, Rahul, and flirting with carrying this narrative through to the end is young Shaurya Singh, who will be joining us in the commentary booth.
Yash Majmudar now. Third shot here on hole number 15. His opening tournament here of the DP World PGTI. And man, has he come here with a bang, as has Shaurya Singh. One-handed chip here for Majmudar, and making it look very easy. Shaurya, would you have the courage to try something like that out?
Well, as they say, the literal meaning of my name, my friend, is courage. Of course, I would try it with one hand, but execution. Now, that's a question that I don't quite have an answer to, Rahul.
If I remember right, when you used to be on the tour, you used to take about 2 minutes on every shot to gather all that courage.
Well, that's why I was being tongue-in-cheek. While you have a look at Rashid Khan, who's already hit a shot while we were talking. I'll tell you, Speedy Gonzalez has nothing on Rashid Khan.
Changing topics, my friend, has always been your penchant, hasn't it?
Absolutely, sir. And that's why I have the honor of joining you on the hot mic while we have the good fortune of looking at these pedigreed players make birdie after birdie.
Now that you have the honor, may I now take a nap? So when you're done, let me know.
Absolutely, sir. No time to take a nap because things are coming at you fast. The action is heating up here in Visakhapatnam. Many a great ships have been built here. The shipbuilding center of India is also the headquarters of the Eastern Command, I believe, of the Navy. And of course, somebody who's alone, an armada at this point in time, is Khalin Joshi. He is really on song right now and seems undeterred by the competition as he plays hole number 15. It's currently at 8 under par.
Birdie putt here for Khalin Joshi. Move to 9 under par to separate himself further from second position, which is very crowded right now at 5 under par. Last minute decision to get the marker out of the way. Holding this one in is pretty much a nail in the coffin at this point in time. Khalin Joshi with that superb birdie here on the 15th hole, moving to 9 under par. 4-shot lead now over Ajitesh Sandhu, Viraj Madappa and Yash Majmudar. Pretty much going away and saying, I'm here to take this home.
Yes, I set the stage for young Yash. Needs to get that putter working a little better. Missed a few putts. The good thing about this putter is it's downhill. Doesn't need to think too much about getting it there. Seems like it'll break from his right. Looked like a good putt. Fortunately for him, that's not going to find the bottom of the cup. Leaving the space for Rashid Khan. You can see leaves flying in the background. So the wind is picking up. That can make matters a little more interesting. Rashid Khan with his par attempt. We've seen this often now. He's not quite gotten his best golf on the final day. Got himself into some good positions, but there you see another putt missed on the higher side. So the putter is definitely the one to blame at this point in time for Rashid Khan. Has put paid to his hopes for victory.
It's quite uncharacteristic of Rashid to miss so many putts that we've seen over the last 2 days, and perhaps the reason why that knock on the door isn't quite getting answered. Yash Majmudar cleaning up there for a bogey on this 15th hole. As we move towards the last 3 holes of the tournament, the Andhra Open 2026, Khalin Joshi leads the way at 9 under par, a 4-shot lead and 3 holes to play.
Yeah, another strange statistic from today's round. Khalin is one of the only 2 players who's made bogey on both the par 5s on the back 9. So, and that's a little surprising given his penchant for reeling off monstrous drives. It tells you that it's not quite enough just to hit good drives. You have to sometimes have the other things go your way as well. Have a look at that. A few brown patches, green in the
Young talent on DP World PGTI, and Ariman is standing right next to me. Ariman, first of all, I want you to summarize for us how has been your outing and your takeaways from this one.
Yeah, so it's been a fun last couple of days. I mean, today it's definitely a little hotter than comparatively to the last 3 days. We had a lot of wind in the first 3 days. The golf course itself is a very challenging layout. So, I mean, I've had a lot of fun. And Vizag has been a great city for sure.
You talk about the challenges at East Point Golf Club. I think the highest amongst them would be the weather here and the windy conditions that we saw on the first 3 days.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone knows that, like, when you come here, you need to pack an extra t-shirt or two for your round, and you need to pack your electrolytes and all that other type of stuff.
Yeah.
So the weather is definitely a big challenge. That's why a lot of people also chose to take a rest this week. But that being said, golf is a sport. You have to, you have no choice around it, but you have to be out here, and somehow or some way we manage.
But you are a sportsman across several sports.
Yeah.
Just tell us a bit more about your other passions barring golf. What all do you play, and how does that really help you in sharpening your skills on the course?
So, I mean, I was a competitive show jumper. I also did polo growing up. That was actually my first love, I would say. I think there's a lot of correlatives to the sport. I feel like there's balance is like a very big fundamental, which also translates to golf in quite a bit. And I think when you have a fear of like falling over a horse, that like really eradicates the fear from like, you know, hitting a bad shot, I guess, because there's not really much to it. But yeah, I play squash pretty well. I like to play any other racket sport like table tennis and anything of that sort whenever I'm home in Bangalore or Bombay. So yeah, I mean, you can always find correlatives to each and every sport.
Fantastic. Aryaman, just quickly, if you can tell us what is coming up ahead for you on the golf course and how are you going to plan for it?
Sure, like next week is Hyderabad.
Yes.
We're playing at Boulder Hills. It's a very good track. It's a long, lengthy, challenging track. So I feel like that's going to be a great test. And then the following week we go to Delhi as well to finish our first half of the season. So both good courses, both really good layouts. So I'm really excited. Yeah.
All right, and we are excited for your prospects. Thank you so much, and good luck for the coming outings.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure talking to Aryaman, and now let's go back to our commentators once again.
Thank you for that insightful discussion with Aryaman, a young gun. It's the ball a country mile. As we go back to Ajitesh Sandhu. An image of consistency, poise and grace. Ajitesh. Every action is so measured. Even his gait, the swing. It's even the way that he takes the ball out. It is just so proper. And now, Camilo, the Indian version of Camilo, Vijagas. You know, if you wanted to get the limelight, you got to take it. This is a lesson for everybody in media, I think, even for us. The line. It's not about just doing your job. It's about flamboyance, about panache. And there's a lot of that here with the man on the back of young Manjot. Manjot, my dear friend, you better hold it. He's put a lot of effort to read that line. Shouldn't go a begging all that effort. And he just leaves it in the jaws. Seems like the line was correct. It did indeed break from the right. I'm pretty sure he's not going to do the same for this putt. Now back to Rashid Khan on the perilous 16th. Surrounded by water everywhere. Now where is this one going to go? Starts a little right, is turning back. And it is bounding on. And has that stayed up or has it found the watery grave? And the wind has picked up as well on cue. The golfing gods know that this is a hole which can change the tournament. Khalin Joshi has one last challenge. He has to navigate this hole carefully so as to not let the ball get wet. It has to stay on dry land. The moat guards hole number 16. The gatekeeper to the victor is hole number 16. It's the Amen corner here at East Point Golf Club. Let's see how Yash has done. Safely on land. All aboard. And Khalin has already hit a spectacular shot. It's not too far from the flagstick. So it seems he's done the hard yards. He's walked the weary path and finds himself ahead of the field and can now hold that putt and then have a sizable lead to relish the moment that he's waited for.
Seems like your caffeine has kicked in.
Yes, sir. Espresso.
Viraj Madappa now on hole number 17. Coming off a bogey on the 16th hole currently. 4 under par for the tournament. Madappa, can he finish with a couple of birdies on the 17th and the 18th? Akshay Sharma from Chandigarh has finished with a 5 under par back 9 to shoot a 6 under par total round for the day and 5 under par for the tournament, tied alongside his city's lad Ajitesh Sandhu, also at 5 under par, tie for second position. Madappa swings at that one.
376 yards this hole. I think that he's gone with the conservative approach. I don't think he's quite taken the driver here, and He's faltered on that, and he finds himself behind that little bit of a tree stump. I thought he went with some sort of a punch shot off the tee.
So it seemed like it. Maybe he was trying to give himself a full shot for his.
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद
Now Rashid Khan seems that he's afloat, just about evading the hazard. Maybe chip this one in, and no, not to be. It's the wheels are coming off. This wagon is going overboard, not going the way that is intended. And now you see that Rashid can get a little hot under the collar. He's not happy with himself, but I see that he needs to go back to the drawing board. The final day has just not worked according to his liking. That's been the theme time and again this year. He's got himself into brilliant positions, but on the final day has just capitulated in spectacular fashion, and that's something that we've seen again today. What can you attribute that to, Rahul?
I think it's just a case of his mind's probably out of it by now. He knows that he doesn't have a shot at this tournament at this point in time, and as far as I've known Rashid, he's really the player who likes to win tournaments. I think that the air is kind of just out of the balloon at this point in time. So for him to just go out there and be able to concentrate and give it his 100%, maybe that's the tough part. At this point in time. Let's take a look now at Majmudar. Majmudar, of course, trying to have his best finish here on the PGTI.
I think that's one of the downsides of being a man who wants to win. As soon as Rashid Khan realizes that, as we have a look at Yash with this rather lengthy putt, it's a decent effort by him. As soon as Rashid sort of realizes that he's not in with an opportunity to win a tournament, I think there's a certain amount of adrenaline that sort of just goes out of the body, and then he just sort of goes through the motions because he's always looking to win. He's such an aggressive player, and that's yielded him so many tournaments. But at some point in time, it sort of becomes this double-edged sword. You want to be. I know that for many players, especially a great player like Rashid, second position is first loser, but that's not always the case in golf.
We've been talking about this, in fact, not just this week. We've spoken about it in the past as well. Even when we were at the Hotel Planet Tour event, we spoke about Rashid, and he's one of those guys who's been knocking on the door very often off late. And I think somewhere the mind just gives, right? It's only so much, and I'm pretty sure Rashid will be back with a bang just the very week after. Khalin Joshi now putting for a birdie to move to 10 under par, our leader in the frame.
I must say, really good shot by Khalin as well on this hole. Hard at the green. And this is where a good ball striker really, earns his keep on a hole like this, where the wind is up.
Khalin Joshi coming up just a wee bit short off the hole, but nothing more than a 2-footer now for a par. A long par 3, the 16th hole, running over 210 yards, and with the green being protected by all of the penalty areas on the left, right, and behind the green, that makes it a tough one to get to. And of course, the wind doesn't help either. And by now, of course, the humidity and all of those things also are playing a part. The pressure of the game. Yash Majmudar putting for a par.
The draw of the day definitely has been Akshay Sharma with a 6 under par. What a round. And 5 of that was earned on the back nine. Well, Yash Majmudar at 4 under par, currently sitting in for a tie in 4th position. And makes that, you know what it means to him. I think each putt is important. What you want to remember that you might not win, but you want to stay in the world ranking points. For a lot of these players, they want to go on to bigger tours and apply their trade internationally. Of course, the DP World Tour has a strategic tie-up with the DP World Professional Golf Tour of India, which also has a tie-up with the PGA Tour. So these golfers, as they say, the world is their oyster. And Khalin Joshi is just getting back to where he belongs in the winner's circle. This par putt will keep him at 9 under par. This hole that has been a sight of so many broken hearts will not be able to put daggers into Khalin's this time. He goes unscathed, is not a victim of hole number 16.
Khalin Joshi living up to his statement from yesterday that he gave away, that he knows what it's like to be in the leading seat of a golf tournament. He knows that he has to just stay in his zone and hit the best shots. And that's exactly what Khalin Joshi is doing at this point in time, sticking around at a 9 under par, 2 under par for the day. And he perhaps is the only player in the field at this point in time who has shot 4 rounds of under pars over here. Yes, that's for certain. And that usually is the case, isn't it, at a golf tournament?
Yeah, we've seen that, especially now with the depth of the field and competition that is there, that it's often a prerequisite that you're in the red more often than not. We saw Saptak as well at Ahmedabad at the very trying Kalhar blues and greens setup. He was a cut above the rest, and we've seen Khalin do this week, and the champion eventually that he has to play that way, and if you don't, you often find yourself in a spot of bother. It seems that Khalin, my apologies, Viraj has chipped out. We saw his tee shot go to the right, and now he finds himself here. So seems like it has been a safety first approach.
Well, at this point in time, he has his work cut out, coming off a bogey on hole number 16. Viraj Madappa needs to make this up and down to stick around within the top 5 of this tournament. There we have the aerial view, the drone view of the EPGC, the East Point Golf Club here in Visakhapatnam. 15 kilometers away from the city is this golf course. Absolutely picturesque setting that it is. The EPGC and the Andhra Pradesh Golf Association have played a pivotal role in hosting this golf tournament for the DP World PGTI at this venue, and moreover has played a pivotal role in promoting the sport of golf in their region. As we get back to the action here, Viraj Madappa.
Back to Viraj. This golf course really does have a long history. Established in 1884. Viraj on hole number 17. Really flighting it so well. Look at that golf shot. That's how you hit these shots. Flight them low. Put some spin on it. Brilliant. It's a masterclass in the short game. The APGA also established base at EPGC. And this is the inaugural event here. And it's the 3rd time that they're hosting, this golf course is hosting the Professional Golf Tour of India. They also have a really good junior program which is doing so much for the growth of the game. So it's not just about member golf and so on and so forth. It's also about giving back and building the future of the nation. As you know that the youth is the precursor to a nation's greatness, and they're doing everything in their part, the Andhra government.
Arjun Sharma now, who is slowly but surely crept back into the top 10 with birdies on hole number 11, 12th and 13th on the trot. Here now on the 17th, he did take us to school with bunker play yesterday. Has he done the same today?
Oh, this is really surprising. He's, in golfing terms, it's called he's sculled it. He's hit the top of that ball, and that's come out from that bunker like a loaded gun, like a bullet from a loaded gun that's gone zipping by the green. Now he'll have his work cut out in order to try and make bogey, and that can happen sometimes from the sand. It's a very fine balance between trying to make par and then struggling for bogey, because the bunker shot is such you have to actually hit behind the ball, use the bounce, but if you want to spin it, you got to get closer to it. And if you fly too close to the sun, as who was it? I think it was Icarus who flew too close to the sun. Yeah, you get burnt a few times. So yeah.
Well, not if you wear hats like Saptak Talwar, putting for a birdie here on the 17th.
Beautifully said, my friend.
Talwar also having a bogey-free round today. It's currently 4 under par for the tournament. Spectacularly putting together his last 18 holes here at EPGC, and that one would just rest on the side of the hole. That'll be a par for Saptak Talwar here on the 17th.
Yeah, the man with the hat just about missing that putt. So EPGC really helping build the future of Indian golf, and of course it's one of the finest facilities. They have a fitness center, banquet halls, restaurant, swimming pool, you name it, and they have it. And of course we like to thank their members and greenskeeping staff. They've been able to give greens at speeds of upwards of 9.5. We have a look at the top 10. Very well manicured conditions. Seems to be some discussion between Arjun and the playing partners about the ball. The question might have been if it's embedded in its own pitch mark and if it's broken ground, but I think they were certain that is not the case. So now he'll try and get up and down for bogey. It's a similar shot in a way that you're hitting from the bunker. You're again utilizing the bounce here from the rough. That's a decent, I think that's a good shot, all things considered. He didn't decelerate, but he had to leave the club there, so that's a pretty good shot. This golf course has also gotten the award of Best Renovated Golf Course at the GIA Summit 2022.
Viraj Marappa now putting for a par with that pitch shot that he just hit from about 40 odd yards away. Hit himself into trouble on the right side of the fairway into the rough a little while earlier off the tee, but has an opportunity here for a par from about 10 feet away. Marappa.
And a word about our tour partners right after this putt. Viraj Marappa making that look easy. DP World, Axis Bank, Campa, Enerlite, Amul, Golf Plus, Golf Design India, and Kalyani.
And of course, without the sponsorship as well as the support of all these big houses, it would be impossible to have professional sport, and all sports require the support of companies like the DP World and Amul, of course, being a household name in the country, Axis Bank, Enerlite. All of these help in taking the game a long way. And of course, Golf Design India, the company which is designing some of the best golf courses in the country. Arjun Sharma to drop only one shot here.
Yeah, Arjun Sharma to mitigate the damage, and he does that. A really good bogey. Well done. Shows you that you can be aggressive from the sand if you have a good short game. Well done by Arjun here.
As we get down to the last few holes remaining of our leader group and the penultimate group coming down, the 17th and the 18th hole, may I now bring upon Mr. Rahul Banerjee with his expert views on what's happening here at EPGC.
Oh, that's a really good try by Manjot. Now, a pity that we won't be able to see his caddy do the Camillo, because that seems like a short enough putt. So we won't be able to see that patented line reading technique. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also maybe suggest that you can try that if you're fit and nimble, want to take out the guesswork in which way your ball will turn, then maybe that's a technique that you try and employ. And of course, that does a thing or two for your fitness as well.
I don't know if you remember last year, was it a year before last, we had Jeev had brought the senior European tour to the JP Greens, and the guy who won it, I don't remember his name now, he would read his own putts, and this is what he would get down on, literally on hands and knees on every green to read his putt, and obviously it worked for him because he went on to win the tournament.
Yeah, I think it was Joachim Hagemann, if I'm not wrong. I think he's the one who won that tournament in sweltering conditions, nevertheless. And of course, no such issues here. It's a little oppressive with the heat, but it is still, I would say, temperate on hole number 18 here. The signature hole, a little shy of 450 yards. Water left of the green, water behind, trouble on the right. Not many spaces that you can escape. Brashwarpal Singh on hole number 18 to wind things down. He's at 2 under par for the tournament. This is one of the better finishes that he's had. Probably one of the best top 10 finish. And he would be buoyed by this. We'll give him the required spring in his step as he heads on to 2 weeks after this. And that's a good putt. Tight flag today towards the back right. You have to flirt a little bit with those trees on the right hand side. And the hole is playing into the wind. And the wind is really picking up at this point in time. Makes for a very challenging final hole.
Final rights of this inaugural 1 crore rupee Andhra Open at the EPGC East Point Golf Club in Visakhapatnam. Winds back to almost the strength it was yesterday. Remember, this is one of the very few coastal venues that the PGTI goes to through the course of the year. Probably the Cosmopolitan Club in Chennai being the other, almost equidistant, as this one is from the coast, from the actual seashore, 3 or 4 kilometers away. But certainly the wind changes in the afternoon. It generally it switches around and goes to being an inbound wind from off the sea. Adding to the fun, of course, are these hills and this ring of hills around the coast, which create a swirl effect, as we've seen yesterday and today. Rashid Khan looking to finish off things on a high. Not a very great round, but a birdie putt here, a birdie conversion here would make him feel a lot better about his game. Unfortunately, that is not to be.
Gave that a good run, did Rashid Khan on hole number 17. He's now moved down to tie for 8th position at 2 under par. That's mainly because of 3 bogeys that he's had on the back nine on hole number 13, 15 and 16. And on your screens now is the leader, Khalin Joshi. He's at 9 under par and has a birdie attempt of his own. would want to extend the margin of victory. He's currently 4 shots ahead, and I know, knowing him, he has a penchant for aggression, especially in his golf game. He's a fine ball striker. And it's really nice to see him rewarded. Had a runner-up finish last year and 3 third-place finishes did Khalin Joshi, the man based out of Bengaluru. Really good junior, amateur, and now very consistent professional golfer. Has played a lot of golf on the Asian Tour, and that putt was ever so close, barely missing it on the lower side.
Well, literally the closing hole after this to go with Khalin Joshi now on a comfortable 4-stroke lead. He's had a number of challenges come up and then fade away, but for the moment it's Akshay Sharma who's finished for the day with a 6 under run. Finished 5 under. He's alongside Ajitesh Sandhu. This young man on screen, Yash Majmudar, was definitely in the mix until he reeled off a hat trick of bogeys on the back nine, but this will make him feel a lot better.
What a putt by Yash right there. You can see what it means to him. Brilliant putt by Yash Majmudar. That broke a little from right to left. He would have been helped by Rashid Khan's putt, and the young man knows that each putt is worth its weight in gold at this point in time. So he would move to 5 under par, and that would be second position, making all the right moves. Now Rashid Khan finds the bottom of the cup, nice and easy. He stays at 2 under par. Back to hole number 18. Ajitesh Sandhu will clean up. And that's one thing that we often see. His speed control is immaculate. Always gets it to the correct level, and more often than not has tap-ins for his par or oblique birdie. Oh, there we have it. One last time. I think he's just showing off now. He's just showing off now. That's a really short putt, but of course, I'll tell you, he's one fit man, being able to do that and replicate it time after time. And I think that's what adds confidence to Manjot. He knows that this line just cannot be wrong. And there you go. One for the cameras.
He did hear you, Shaurya. I'm sure there was somebody telling him, look, Shaurya Singh is missing your press-ups and your calisthenics.
Absolutely.
So he did it one final time for you, just to make sure that you don't go away disappointed.
Thank you.
And nor is his player, because his player, Manjot, as we saw, duly converting.
That's what you like to see more of. He's a caddy and a showman. And of course, to be able to do that, I believe Rahul Bajaj says he's going to do that in his fun rounds. He plays quite a few of them, and he's promised us that he'll also make a video of him doing the Spider-Man on the greens. Well, we have a look at Brashwar Pal with all the histrionics going on. He needs to focus on his own putt, and he does that. So the stage is clear for the final group, who will shortly come down here on hole number 18. We all Chandigarh. You can see the smile on Ajitesh's face. He's also seen something new today. The handshake between the rest of them.
Absolutely.
It's really nice to see that.
Sorry, what I meant was just going to say, absolutely, the gentleman, as always, Ajitesh, making sure he acknowledges the efforts of everybody, the scorers, the officials, before leaving after his final hole. So it's good to see. This is the sort of example, I'm sure, and the two young men who are playing with him will take that away with them as they go. And etiquette and courtesy is always a very nice thing to remember.
Yeah, I took my I remember there was this tournament at DLF about 6-8 months. I took my boy there, and he was starstruck. And of course, he had the good fortune of getting an autographed ball from Ajitesh Sandhu. Maybe in a year's time, that would be something worth recalling. A great memory.
Right, you might just have heard this early sparks of a career to come in years. We will keep an eye on this young man, this young man's young man, so to say.
Well,
Rahul, you were here as well. You just heard Shaurya lining up his son for a possible career in golf as well.
Well, I just hope he doesn't take the same amount of time, Otherwise, the rest of the field, is going to be a return.
Okay, I've been meaning to ask you this for a long time. Who took longer on the ball, you or Patrick Cantlay?
I'd have to say it's a close tie, but of course he was a lot more effective. So,
listen, the competition really is between Shaurya and Harmeet Kalon.
Well, yes.
Let's keep it at the domestic level, Rahul, shall we? I think that makes more sense to everybody.
Yes. Well, I'd say that I would, of course, steal the honors. As we have a look at hole number 18, Arjun Sharma, using the rangefinder. The week at the Hotel Planet Tour, the rangefinders were a no-go. So it's a little confusing. Some tours and some weeks you have the rangefinder allowed, and the others it's not. And even referring to a yardage book that is not, given by the tour is not allowed. So these rules are a little complicated. Of course, these are all put in place in order to hasten up play. But the only one that I don't agree with is 3 minutes to find a ball, ladies and gentlemen. 3 minutes. That makes sense when there's a lot of gallery and you can actually find the ball. Otherwise, 3 minutes goes by in the blink of an eye. So that rule is a little penal. I feel that with the rollback of the ball, that is another that needs to go back to 5 minutes as we have a look at the final group here at hole number 18. Saptak really have to contend with that tree and further down with the hazard, and that shot is not for the faint of heart. That famous face celebrating 20 years Golf Plus, carrying the weight of a nation, Kapil Dev, and now taking golf to greater heights. Now this shot, as we wait with bated breath. Let's see what trick does Saptak Talwar have up his sleeve. And, looking on pensively. Not quite certain where that has ended up for young Saptak.
Definitely the wrong side of the fairway for this young man, because finding the left side is a far better approach to the green. You can actually see it from where he was. It makes life a lot harder, but
I'm not quite certain what's happening here. Oh, where he's wandered off has Arjun. That tee shot has he's missed the fairway well to the right, and that's a chip back to the fairway. So it's all happening here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Andhra Open Golf Championship 2026. If you've joined us right now, you're a little late to the party, but you can still see the crowning of the champion. Khalin Joshi, after playing 17 holes this day, is 2 under par, and after 71 holes of the tournament finds himself in rarefied air, alone at 9 under par, 4 shots clear of Akshay Sharma, who's had one of his best finishes in a recent memory. Kind courtesy, a stellar 6 under par final day. And tied alongside him is Yash Majumdar. You saw him make that putt on hole number 17. And in 4th position is Saptak, the man who is in a purple patch of sorts. And of course, for the rest of the scores, just look at your screen right there, ladies and gentlemen. The story unravels in spectacular fashion. And for Khalin Joshi, the stars have come together here in Visakhapatnam. He will be your champion at the East Point Golf Club. And he'll also have the honor of being the inaugural champion for the Andhra Open. Now back on short grass is Arjun Sharma, who's taken the scenic route to hole number 18. Took a little bit of a detour, got it back, and now for his third shot. There's water on the left, which will not be a factor here. Short third shot for Arjun, who's 2 under par. He's had a really nice back nine, and now has his work cut out if he's to make par.
This hole is almost, that Arjun is playing out is almost a carbon copy of what we saw Chikkarangappa do yesterday. He pulled his drive well to the left. Those palm trees you can see behind the Amul hoarding is where he was from. Flared it out to the right of the green, kept it short. So plenty of action happened yesterday, and as we're seeing plenty of action happening in front of you right now, though of course at the top of the pile, Khalin Joshi is sailing towards his first win in 4 years, following up on the Coimbatore title he won in 2022.
Now hole number 18, the tee. You can see it's getting windy, and that's one of the reasons that players are finding it difficult to find the fairway. Not him. That's an absolute laser-guided missile in the center of the fairway, as they like to call it in golfing terms, a frozen rope. No movement at all. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we've been waiting for, the tee off on the final hole. And ever as aggressive, going with the driver. There's no holding back here. There's only the fifth gear that Khalin Joshi knows. We'll need to put a lot of RPMs on that to ensure that it doesn't move in the wind. Another absolute beauty. What a tracer. You know, they often used to say that you drive for show and putt for dough, but I think now in the modern game, the most important club, without a doubt, is the driver, because that sets the foundation of your entire round. Now maybe Rashid Khan can end in style. It's been rather disappointing on the back nine. The putter has let this man down, and that appears to be heading to the right. And yes, that's a friendly bounce getting back. So yes, he will have a shot to the green, will Rashid Khan.
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी सिद्धि है.
मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने एक चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद.
Well, back live on, as Shaurya and Rahul have been saying, the final rights of this most engaging inaugural edition of the Andhra Open, a 1 crore new event on the PGTI, DP World PGTI schedule.
Saptak now, he seems to have done well from that lie. Quite the precarious shot, the green, the trees, the water, but I think all things considered, he's done really well and finds himself also outside the bunker. So that's a good little break for a man from Gurugram, Saptak Talwar, and that has worked out fairly well from his reaction. Seemed that he didn't quite catch all of it, but I think when that happens, sometimes you a little bit of a miscue, you get a little more roll, and I think all things considered, it's worked out well for Saptak Talwar.
Two events to go after this one before the summer break. The Boulder Classic in Hyderabad, not very far away from this venue, and all the way back up north to the Classic Golf and Country Club at New near Gurgaon. Will be the final event before the summer break. The intense summer of Indian summer can be quite brutal. But so far, we have had a fairly mild start. Extended spring, so to say. And spring, hopefully, in everybody's footsteps now as they look to finish off to the 72nd and final hole of this inaugural Andhra Open at the East Point Golf Club. Arjun Sharma putting to save par. Long putt with a fairly good fist of it. Just staying a little high and short, but as a tap in bogey and he will finish on 1 under for the tournament. Should give him a top 15 finish. Raj Madhapa taking a close look at how the grass around the hole has been trimmed, so his caddy came up to take a look as well. Saptak Talwar and Viraj Madhapa in this group yet putting to finish. And in the background you can see this scoreboard. Khalin Joshi comfortably ensconced at the top on 9 under par, 4 strokes ahead of his closest challengers, Akshay Sharma, who's finished for the day, and Yash Muzmudar playing alongside the leader.
Viraj Madhapa now for bogey here on 18, and that seems that he's missed it on the lower side, and it's going to be a rather unfortunate finish, one that he would not have wanted. So he'll tumble down from 3 under back to 1 under par, and that will see him drop to 12th position alongside Abhinav Lohan, Mr. Consistency, with a brilliant 3 under par. The man who made all cuts on the Professional Golf Tour of India last year. So a picture of poise and consistency is Abhinav Lohan, tied alongside Brashwar Pal Singh.
So the 18th has certainly extracted a heavy price today. On the field, we've had Ajitesh Sandhu finishing off with a double bogey and a whole lot of bogeys further down the leaderboard. So, not surprising, but we saw Viraj Madhapa also finish with a double bogey, and here Saptak Talwar, DP World Tour, DP World PGTI, Auto Merit leader, putting to save his par.
Saptak with what would be an absolutely fantastic par save from where he was. He found himself in a tricky spot, had a curtailed backswing, had to contend with the branches of the tree, had to draw it over the line of trees that flank this green on the right hand side. He did really well to get the ball where he did, and then that chip shot to get himself to about 5 feet under the flag. Needs this putt to stay in solo 4th position. Doesn't want to be giving up any currency at this point in time, so that makes this putt all the more important, and he does so. What a brilliant par by Saptak Talwar, ladies and gentlemen. Another solid week for Saptak. Finishes in fourth position with solid play, 70, 74, 68 and a 3 under par today. Saptak Talwar, ladies and gentlemen, is a name that is going to be heard a lot in the annals of Indian professional golf. So they've all set the stage for the final group to come through. Now the impressive young man Yash Majmudar takes a sizable divot here at hole number 18. And ball has had a lot of air time, under clubbing it by at least a club and a half. Comes shy. I think there might have been something maybe with the strike or with the club. It looked like an aggressive shot, but has come up rather short. And look at Khalin's drive. He's way down there. And Rashid Khan, of course, staying true to form. Doesn't like to mull around. Confidence is the key. And he has a lot of that. Difficult shot coming up, though. Has to hit a high draw over those trees. And I'm not quite certain if he's clipped a branch or two. The look of consternation says that it might have. He's gesticulating that has it carried the tree, yes or no. Now, this is the final iron shot that Khalin would hit here at East Point Golf Club. He's been stellar. He's been consistent. And he's been taking dead aim on those flags. And not to be so on the final hole, though. I think the wind has really picked up, and you can see both these players, owing to that, have not really hit their best shots here. I think the wind definitely played a part in that. Also saw in the foreground Ankur Chadda, professional golfers now also associated with the Professional Golf Tour of India. Maybe taking a little bit of a hiatus from the game and try to get inside the ropes. Very good golfer and great ball striker as well.
Fortunately, Khalin Joshi's cushion is a very substantial one, 4 shots as it stands, and no one's really threatening him because he's left himself with a slightly tricky third shot, wispy, rough alongside the bunkers. Sometimes not the most comfortable lie to play out of, but especially when it's not a very long shot. But as we've been saying for a while, walking up the final steps to the coronation of the inaugural champion at the Andhra Open, at the very testing East Point Golf Club in Visakhapatnam.
Yeah, this is really a relishing setup. Is the East Point Golf Club. It has birdies and bogeys in equal in measure. And a masterful design. A lot of history here in this golf club, established in 1886, almost 150 years, 140 at this point in time. So it shows you that historic setting for a tournament of this stature. And of course, as they say, cometh the hour, cometh the man. And Khalin Joshi will be getting back to the winner's circle after a long wait of 4 years. As they say, a journey of 1,000,000 miles starts with a single step. And he's taken all the right ones. Now the young man, Yash Majmudar, for his third. Almost a similar spot to the one that Saptak found himself in, going with the one-handed approach. This is something that I've seen even Shubham Jaglan do, and if I'm not wrong, some of the foreign players as well. I think Joshua does it, I'm not certain, but I, for one, really don't agree with this because especially coming out of the rough, you need that left hand to guide the club. But of course, they're working on a certain drill. And, I'd like to get Rahul's thought on this, that a lot of players using just a single hand off the green. And, doesn't it make it more difficult coming out of the rough now? Of course, going with a more conventional approach is Khalin. 2 hands. Look, no hands.
Well, Khalin Joshi is using two hands over here, and clearly that's what leaders are doing. And what a brilliant shot here by Khalin Joshi. His third shot on the 18th hole to make an up and down for a par. And going back to the conversation that you started, Shaurya, I haven't really quite understood yet the one-handed approach. I know the reasons why some people do it, but I do think that you're absolutely right that coming out of the rough with just one hand, because you've got to use a lot of force to chop the grass off and get the ball out and going with spin from the rough. So I find it quite tough with that one hand to be able to do so. So certainly you're absolutely on point. As Rashid Khan, another player with the two-handed approach.
I'd say golf is hard enough as it is. And will this go in? Finally, maybe the lob wedge does what the putter doesn't, but a beautiful chip shot. And you can see finally he cracks a smile. So, so we are happy to see that. As I say that, of course, there's a drill that many of these players work on, but coming out of the thicket with one hand, definitely does make it a lot more difficult. Brilliant shot by Rashid Khan. Now Yash Majmudar after that chip shot. He's been stellar today, has Yash. 1 under par. And that back nine, he really came back roaring with 4 birdies on that 9. He's at 5 under par. This is a very pivotal putt. Currently he's in a tie for second. Would see him get into a solo third if he were to miss this. And I think he misses that, and that'll get him to third position. So, they set the stage for the champion Khalin. He's going to be making history here, is Khalin. And I think Rashid Khan will also clear the stage for him. Look at that water body flanking that green, those trees. Masterful design. Grandstand finish. Here at Visakhapatnam. Visakhapatnam, which is also called the jewel of the east coast of India. And the heart of shipbuilding and industry. And this week in Visakhapatnam, there's a new king who's going to be bejeweled with the crown of the Andhra Open Golf Championship 2026. And mind you, the inaugural championship. And that's going to be none other than Khalin Joshi. The man from Bengaluru, no stranger to success, but it has been 4 years. And all the effort will bear fruit now as he putts to win the inaugural Andhra Open Golf Championship 2026. And never a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, with rounds of 68, 68, 70 and a 2 under par, his friends will douse him in beverages, water and others. And rightly so. Why not? The man deserves it. You need to cool off now, Khalin. You were on fire. Brilliant display of golf and courage under fire. He was unfallible. There were many challengers and pursuers who made birdies, and you can see now he's a little flummoxed and bedazzled. But take a bow, Khalin. You're the champion this week.
And a very deserving winner too, Shaurya. He's played the steady, like you read out his scores just now, played the steadiest golf of all. Had his share of ups and downs, certainly on the way, but it's the champion who comes through all of the tribulations and trials that test you on the way, and it's a well-earned end to a 4-year wait for this young man who's had notable success over the last few years, but just could not take that final step, which he has now done. So congratulations to Khalin. It's a merited win, and for his thoughts on the matter, Rahul Bajaj will also have. He's watched a lot of these players in action closely, and just quick replay of the title sealing putt.
Yeah, we'll soon also be tossing to Preeti for the post-match show. We'll also get Rahul's thoughts.
Well, Khalin's been, waiting to win over the past few years now. He's been struggling with his game, and gladly things are back to coming together for Khalin Joshi, who has been, a successful professional golfer here in India as well as internationally on the Asian Tour. And as we now move towards the prize presentation, let's go to Preeti Dahiya.
What a fantastic finish we've just witnessed to the inaugural Andhra Open Golf Championship. To talk more about it, and of course, Khalin Joshi breaking the jinx after 4 years. I have with me Amandeep Joel, the CEO of PGTI. And for Khalin Joshi particularly, Amandeep, this is going to be big. It was important that he get back to his winning ways. Can we say that this is going to be the revival of Khalin Joshi?
Absolutely. I think, he's got the monkey off his back for so many years, hasn't had a win. Great talent, great potential, but I think he kept his cool. It almost for a moment it felt as if he was only one stroke ahead.
Yeah.
And Yash Majmudar had caught up with him, but I think from the 12th hole onwards he made 3 birdies with a hiccup on 14, and kept his cool. And everybody else kept falling apart. But very happy for Khalin to finally find his winning ways.
Well, the weather is also keeping cool now suddenly after we just wrapped up the action on course. The wind is very pleasant. But overall, when we talk about Khalin Joshi's performance, there have been many times when he was very close and yet so far he could not close out really to get a title for himself. Everyone had doubts about him, whether he would be able to finish this one as well. Like you said, it came close, but then at the end of the day, no nerves, just a lot of grit and determination.
No, I think he stamped his excellence here at East Point Links. I think the hot and humid was not suiting him. As soon as the wind picked up, he got his winning ways back, made a few birdies when it counted, and the others faltered. So very happy for him. I think it's going to give him a huge boost and start working towards the DP World India Championship, which is coming again in October.
Yes, and I have to ask you, Amandeep, that Khalin Joshi is one of the big names really on the tour. For, star performers like that, how important are they for you from the perspective of the CEO of PGTI to keep them in the reckoning and give them these outings where the youngsters also get good competition against the veterans?
Absolutely. I think Ajitesh Sandhu, Saptak Talwar, Veer Alawat, Angad Cheema, all these guys, they are the future of India. They are the future of Indian golf. And it's always nice to have them on the winning podium. And it gives the youngsters a chance to, that's where I want to reach. Ajitesh Sandhu showed his class again and, finish in the top 10. So all these guys are showing the way, and the youngsters are following suit.
Yeah, in fact, I wanted to talk a bit more about Ajitesh and also Akshay. They did really well here on the final day. I think they finished second. You can perhaps check that for me. But then overall, for Ajitesh also, it's been important that he gets that, get back into understanding what really gets him going, what gets him scoring.
Absolutely. I think Akshay Sharma, another Chandigarh boy, shot a course record 6 under par. Why I keep so excited about Chandigarh? I'm from Chandigarh.
Yes, we are not surprised.
Always rooting for Chandigarh boys.
Yes.
So a really good breed of Chandigarh professionals that is out there. Akshay Sharma is another player who's been knocking on the doors of winning, finishes second so often, and today shoots a course record at East Point with a 6 under par, closing in and finishing second by his own at 5 under par.
Yes, we are very happy to speak about the Chandigarh boys, but there's another name that's creating ripples, and that's Yash Majmudar. He had a great week as well. So is he going to be one name that's going to be around and talked about for a while?
Yash plays in Dubai, and the DP World PGTI is becoming such an international and well-known tour that people from all over the world are coming and wanting to compete in India, and that's very, very good, because when players like Yash come to India, they go back and say how well this tour is organized. It's on television, it's covered everywhere, social media is great, and the president is Kapil Dev, so
yes.
We are asking for no more.
Well, Amandeep, before both of us rush for the presentation, one final question to you. How would you sum up the inaugural Andhra Open Golf Championship? The conditions were tough, a lot of takeaways, I'm sure, for everyone.
A big thank you to MSN Raju, who's the secretary here, and he has single-handedly put it all together. We are grateful to the Andhra government, to the Chief Minister, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, he's been a huge support. We've got a lot of political backing in this tournament, and that's what it should be. My players, the professionals, were having a clinic for the juniors a couple of days ago, and they were so impressed by the young breed of youngsters, of golfers that is coming out of East Point Golf Club. And that's how it is. The ecosystem is good, it's healthy, it's fertile, and we have future champions going to come from here. A big thank you to the Andhra Pradesh Golf Association, to Mr. MSN Raju and the government of Andhra Pradesh.
All right, thank you so much, Amandeep, for that heartfelt note as we summarize the action here. But we will, of course, be bringing towards you the presentation ceremony. Before that, take a look at the highlights of the tournament.
Well, one of the highlights certainly is the picturesque view here at the EPGC, the East Point Golf Club here in Visakhapatnam. 15 kilometers outside of the city, one of the most scintillating tracks that you can play. Khalin Joshi won this golf tournament, the Andhra Open Golf Championship 2026, with a score of 9 under par over 4 days. Akshay Sharma with that stellar 6 under par finishing round to finish second at 5 under. Tied at third position was Saptak Talwar and Yash Majumdar at 4 under par. Ajitesh Sandhu 3 under par. Honey Baisoya, Angad Chima, Manjot Singh, Rashid Khan at 2 under par. And Abhinav Lohan slowly but surely into the top 10 at 1 under par.
Yeah, really good performance by the top 10 players. It's been a trying week. The wind has wreaked havoc, and we've seen some of the holes really gobble up a lot of the players here. It's been that kind of a golf course, but I think eventually, as you see, the cream does rise to the top, and you see players who are really in control of their golf ball, and they've emerged atop the leaderboard. Here, look at some of the highlights of the day today.
It was Ajitesh Sandhu, Manjot Singh, the trio from Chandigarh.
They made short work of this hole. I wonder if we're also going to see the caddy's line reading technique in one of the highlights. I think we must. 3 beautiful shots right there on the par 3. So look at hole number 12. The drives.
Brashwarpal Singh playing alongside Ajitesh and Manjot on the 12th. Missing it out towards the right, but came in just on the corner. And there we have Dhruv Shoran. Setting himself up for a birdie here on the 12th hole. Manjot Singh with an aggressive chip attempt. A lot of curl on that ball from the right to the left. Doing a fantastic job of that. Rashid Khan, a man who didn't quite have it with his putter today, bowling this one. Brashwarpal.
We're at the infamous 16th. Is probably the postcard hole of this golf course.
Dhruv Shoran cleaning up, and Mohammad Azhar on the 15th hole, miffed by no curl on the ball. And Rashid Khan.
That's a club that has not given him any joy this final day.
Ajitesh Sandhu. Sandhu had quite the run of birdies today and was going bogey free for the longest of time until the last few holes. Khalin Joshi, the victor, the man who won this tournament, the Andhra Open 2026. Khalin Joshi with this birdie putt here on the 16th hole, the tough long par 3, setting himself up for a par. Viraj Madappa with this par putt here on hole number 17, doing a brilliant job. Scramble par for him here. And Arjun Sharma on hole number 17. Yash Majmudar flying in all the way from Dubai. Knocks that one in the hole. Khalin Joshi with this birdie putt here.
Khalin putted really well as well today. It's a club that really did enable him to walk to victory. Manjot, of course, he putted well as well. I think it's a team effort for both Manjot and his caddy.
Brushford Paul there, putting up a showcase of short putts. Saptak Talwar. Another beautiful putt here by Saptak. Put up a good week again. We've got Khalin Joshi. Joshi on the last and the final hole. The man, the winner. It's been years since Khalin Joshi has been knocking on the door. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here for the live coverage of the last day of the Andhra Open 2026. We look forward to seeing you again next week at Boulder Hills in Hyderabad.
We also request you to stay with us because we will be bringing to you the prize ceremony very shortly.
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
Hello everyone, we welcome you all to the prize presentation ceremony of the inaugural Andhra Open. The DP World PGTI was delighted to return to the East Point Golf Club after a year and a half. The cut went at 6 over 148 in tough scoring conditions. The tournament featured top-notch performances by the likes of Dhruv Sheeran, Khalin Joshi, Chikrangappa, Rashid Khan, Yash Majmudar, Ajitesh Sandhu, Akshay Sharma, to name a few. Now, at the end, we had the most deserving champion, Khalin Joshi. Well, now I'd like to invite our dignitaries on the stage for the prize presentation. First, Mr. Amandeep Joel, CEO of PGTI. Can we please have you on stage? Also, Mr. MSN Raju, Honorary Secretary of the East Point Golf Club and President of Andhra Pradesh Golf Association. Sir, please join us. Along with Mr. P. Ramakrishna Rao, Treasurer of the East Point Golf Club and Honorary Secretary, Andhra Pradesh Golf Association. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome two of our chief guests today, Shri Vela Gapudi Ramakrishna Babu, MLA of Visakhapatnam East, and Shri Ganta Srinivas Rao, MLA of Bimeli. We welcome all our dignitaries on the stage for the prize presentation ceremony. But before that, I'd like to request Mr. Amandeep Joel to kindly present a plaque on behalf of DP World PGTI as a token of appreciation to Mr. MSN Raju, Honorary Secretary of the East Point Golf Club and President of Andhra Pradesh Golf Association. Thank you very much, sir. Now, before moving ahead, I'm going to request Mr. Amandeep Joel to kindly make the opening address.
Thank you, Preeti. Mr. MSN Raju, Honorary Treasurer, East Point Golf and Country Club, and President of Andhra Pradesh Golf Association, Shri Ramakrishna Babu. Good afternoon, ji. Mr. Ramakrishna Rao, Treasurer, East Point Golf Club and Honorary Secretary of the Andhra Pradesh Golf Association. It is indeed a pleasure to come here to East Point Golf Club. A big round of applause to the East Point Golf Club. The golf course has stood in front of my top-class professionals and only a dozen players could break par. That is a big, big thumbs up to your golf course, sir. Hot and humid, windy. I think you made a test of this golf course. But we are so happy to come back to East Point Golf Club and make it a regular tour venue. The members were fantastic. Thank you very much. They came in and helped with the tournament. Thank you very much for being here with all my players. Without the members, the tournament does not get the same life as any other. Thank you so much, all the members. I would like to announce that Mr. Raju said that we should come here in a little better weather. So hopefully by next year we will come here in January and have the second tournament to enjoy the good weather, the great food and the great people of Andhra Pradesh. Thank you, sir. A big congratulations to Khalin. Well done, Khalin. You got the monkey off your back and we're going to look at bigger things. Also, big congratulations to Akshay to having a course record 6 under par. From and on behalf of the Professional Golf Tour of India, the DP World PGTI, my president, Mr. Kapil Dev, who unfortunately couldn't come today. Thank you very much to Andhra Pradesh. Thank you very much to East Point Golf Club. And we'll come back again. A big thank you to the Honorable CM, Shri Chandrababu Naidu, for hosting us here in Andhra Pradesh. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Amandeep. I'm going to now request Mr. MSN Raju to please share his thoughts with us. Sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. East Point Golf Club is the third oldest golf club in India, now transformed to the best golf club in India. This has all happened in 2018. Our Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has given us 12 acres. With that, we are able to make a championship course, and we were awarded the best renovated golf course in India award in 22. In 23, our AGM has permitted to go with a clubhouse that we started in March 24 by getting permissions from this thing. That was almost completed, waiting for our CM Garu to come and inaugurate it. This clubhouse is having all world-class facilities, Olympic-sized swimming pool, good fitness center, good wellness center, and we are developing 9 holes night golf, and The driving range also we are renovated to one goal facility driving range. All these are coming into operation by May 15th. This is all happened with the support of the government, our members, our donors, our sponsors, and our well-wishers. It is a great achievement for EPGC. Stood one of the best facilitated golf club in India. We now PGTI, when we made a championship course, everybody told, okay, you are theoretically a championship course until unless you hold a PGTI, it will not be a practical championship course. Then we invited in 23, they kindly accepted and came. After coming over here, by seeing our course and our hospitality, every time for PGTI, ours is the highest registration for PGTI to come. This time, 132 players have participated, 18 international players, 82 were eliminated, 50 played yesterday and today. I congratulate all the winners, Khalin, Mazumdar and Joshi, all of you. See, this time actually the players' affection made it possible to hold it. Actually, management and we are not able to match our requirement, but already players registered their names and reserved their tickets. The management was compelled to hold it. And the other thing, I came to know, DP World has not included Vizag in their calendar. I told Amma, no, after seeing your course, yours is the first eligible course to go include in their DP World PGTI calendar. He promised, and now he promised he will conduct again in January for good weather. See, yes, this is all. It is we are blessed by Almighty to achieve whatever we thought. We are able to practically get it before time, sir. I thank one and all.
Thank you so much, sir. And now I'd like to request Shri V. Ramakrishna Babu to please share a few words.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. ఈరోజు ఆంధ్ర ఓపెన్ గోల్ఫ్ ఛాంపియన్షిప్కి మన ఈస్ట్ పాయింట్ గోల్ఫ్ క్లబ్లో భారతదేశం నుంచి కానీ మరియు 10 దేశాల నుంచి క్రీడాకారులు విశాఖపట్నంలో ఈస్ట్ పాయింట్ గోల్ఫ్ క్లబ్కి వచ్చినందుకు వారందరికీ ముందుగా హృదయపూర్వక ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేసుకుంటూ, ఇంత మంచి కార్యక్రమానికి నన్ను ఆహ్వానించిన ఆంధ్ర గోల్ఫ్ అసోసియేషన్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ మరియు మన ఈస్ట్ పాయింట్ గోల్ఫ్ క్లబ్ సెక్రటరీ పెద్దలు, మాకు మంచి మిత్రులు సత్యనారాయణ రాజు గారికి, ట్రెజరర్ రామకృష్ణారావు గారికి, అలాగే PGTI అమ్మన్ గారికి, CEO అమ్మన్ గారికి నా హృదయపూర్వక ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేసుకుంటూ, భారతదేశంలో విశాఖ లాంటి నగరం నాకు తెలిసైతే ఇంత ప్రశాంతమైన నగరం ఎక్కడా ఉండదు. చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు 2014-19లో ముఖ్యమంత్రిగా ఉన్నప్పుడు గోల్ఫ్ క్లబ్ వారు అడిగిన వెంటనే మరొక 12 ఎకరాలు కూడా ఈ క్లబ్ విస్తరణకి ఈ గోల్ఫ్ని ఎంకరేజ్ చేయాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో 12 ఎకరాలు కూడా ఇవ్వటం జరిగింది. అంతేకాకుండా ఈ ప్రభుత్వం వచ్చిన తర్వాత సుమారు ఈ గోల్ఫ్ క్లబ్ అసోసియేషన్ వారు సభ్యులు బయట డోనర్ సహకారంతో 67 కోట్ల రూపాయలు పెట్టి మంచి బిల్డింగు ప్లేయర్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు కానీ ఉండటానికి సుమారు 30 కోట్లు పెట్టి ఆధునికంగా కూడా నిర్మించడం జరిగింది. ఈరోజు యాక్చువల్గా చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు రావాల్సింది. చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు వచ్చి ఉంటే కపిల్ దేవ్ గారు కూడా వచ్చేవారు. ఆయన కూడా చూసే భాగ్యం మాకు కలిగేది, కపిల్ దేవ్ గారిని, విశాఖ ప్రజలకు కానీ నాకు కానీ. ఎందుకంటే ఆయన టీవీలో ఆడినప్పుడు చూడటమే కానీ బయట నేను చూడలేదు ఎప్పుడు. ఆయన్ని చూసే భాగ్యం కలిగేది నాకు కూడా. తప్పకుండా కూడా క్రీడలు ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో ప్రోత్సహించాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు బ్రహ్మాండమైన పాలసీ కూడా క్రీడాకారులను ప్రోత్సహించడానికి ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో చాలా పెద్ద మొత్తంలో ప్రోత్సాహకాలు కూడా ఇస్తున్నారు. ఇంత మంచి కార్యక్రమం మన ఈస్ట్ పాయింట్ గోల్ఫ్ కోర్సులో ఏర్పాటు చేసిన మన సత్యనారాయణ రాజు గారికి, అమ్మన్ గారికి, రామకృష్ణారావు గారికి, క్లబ్ సభ్యులకి, ఇందులో పాల్గొన్న క్రీడాకారులకి అందరికీ కూడా నా హృదయపూర్వక ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేసుకుంటూ సెలవు తీసుకుంటున్నాను. నమస్కారం.
Thank you once again, sir. It's our pleasure that you are joining us today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, throughout the day, we also had the media putting contest here at the EPGC. And we will now be announcing the name of the winner of that contest. I will request Mr. Amandeep Joel to kindly present the winner prize to Mr. Paul Nicodemus from The Hindu. Can we please have you? Congratulations. This was the media putting contest which took place here. Congratulations, Paul. Can we please have a big round of applause? Thank you. And with that, we also have a course record announcement. Akshay Sharma set the course record today with his round of 6 under 65. Can I please invite you on stage and request our chief guest to please present him a prize? Well, Akshay Sharma there getting a prize money of 1 lakh rupees for setting the course record with his round of 6 under 65. Congratulations, Akshay. We also had, in fact, it's a splendid achievement this week that we registered on the course. We had a hole-in-one on the 11th hole by Subhash Tamang during round 1. So a big round of applause for him, and I will request Mr. Ramakrishna Rao to please present the check and trophy to Subhash Tamang for that achievement. Congratulations. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's now move on to announce the runner-up prize. And for that, once again, I'm going to request all our dignitaries present on the stage to please present the professional in second place to Akshay Sharma for his scores of 70, 70, 74 and 65, a total of 5 under in 279. This is our professional in second place, runner-up prize. Of course, getting a check for the prize money of 10 lakh rupees. Once again, congratulations, Akshay. Right, let's once again request all our chief guests and our dignitaries to now jointly present the winner's prize, which goes to Khalin Joshi for the score of 68, 68, 70 and 69, a total of 9 under in 275. Big round of applause there for the winner. He is being presented with the trophy and the winner's check of 15 lakh rupees. Can we hear it now? Big round of applause. Oh, it's a silver trophy is what Mr. Raju is telling us. Another incredible thing that we are witnessing at this beautiful golf course. Well done, indeed. And I think we'll have to let others handle the trophy for some time because it's time for the customary winner's speech. And I'm going to request Khalin Joshi to address the gathering here. Oh, we are still left with the check? Oh, there's a small trophy. Okay. This is from PGTI, and that one was, of course, from the Andhra Pradesh Golf Association. That is the winner's trophy, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Khalin, can I request you now to address the gathering once the 2 trophies are in the house and all the photographs have been taken? You can keep perhaps this one here.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Firstly, I want to thank East Point Golf Club. Andhra Pradesh Golf Federation, Golf Association, a government of Andhra Pradesh, DP World, and all the tour sponsors. Obviously, very delighted to be here. Very, very proud of the way I played. I want to thank all my sponsors, Table Space, Bag Money, Titleist, for always supporting me. It's obviously a win after 3.5 years, so I'm very happy with the way I, played all week. My family, obviously, been there for me for obviously since I started golf. So obviously, want to thank everybody back home. This is for you guys. Thank my girlfriend Pop. Thank you so much for being there. I want to thank my coach Richard. My putting coach, Pipom, for I spent the whole with them. Obviously, I think that they turned my game around a little bit after the Indian Open. So thank you so much for all the support. And this one is for my friend Amit, who passed away last year. He's my sponsor as well. So this victory, I want to dedicate to Amit. Thank you for everything and love you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Khalin, and congratulations. And thank you to all our dignitaries for joining us. In fact, with that, we'd also like to extend our big thank you to all of those who made this event possible. PGTI's umbrella partner, DP World, Government of Andhra Pradesh, host venue, East Point Golf Club, associate partner, Andhra Pradesh Golf Association, Mr. T.K. Raju, Mr. Amar, and Mr. Venkatesh from the club committee, Ms. Jyoti, AGM of EPGC, Mr. Manga from the operations at EPGC, Mr. Sai Krishna and Mr. Santosh for the FNB, Mr. Surya and his entire course team, of course, all the housekeeping staff here, all the players, referees and officials, and the media for supporting this event and coming out in large numbers through the week. Your support is really valued. We'd also like to extend our thank you to all the tour partners, Amul, Axis Bank, Campa, Amrutanjan Enelite, Kalyani, Golf Plus Monthly, Golf Design India. Also, a big thank you to Doordarshan and Waves OTT for their outstanding live telecast of the event. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to say goodbye to our online and TV audiences and the players. We look forward to seeing you all next at the Boulders Classic at Boulder Hills Golf and Country Club in Hyderabad next week. Until then, goodbye.